does it mean register my game? I'm playing the second one. Give me a minute, jeez. Get into it. This is a talking stream anyways. So there's no rush, We're just, you know. Anyways. 20 years, my man. In a couple more weeks, it'll be 20 years. April 25th. They re-released it in theaters. I think it was a couple days ago they just released it in theaters, like 3 days ago, re-released. And they're saying it already made like 30-something million.
Crazy. Movie that's 20 years old.
Movie's 20 years old, it already made like 30 million. That's wild.
But they just re-released it. That's like the most easiest way to make money or something.
Everybody's saying that literally Star Wars is beating Star Wars. Star Wars is being killed by original old Star Wars.
It's crazy.
So, I'm gonna do an audio test real quick. That's good. It's what we want. Right?
That's good. It's what we want. The audio is kind of loud though.
That's also good. That's what we want. No, but I mean, look, man, I'm happy about it. That's me. I backed out just now, but this is what I want. I want people to realize the original 6 is where this franchise died.
Yeah. And the games.
And it's finally come full circle, and like fans that have just had enough, and like I'm sick and tired of Disney Star Wars. I'm no longer gonna watch it. I'm no longer, like, Andor came out, and like I don't even care. Like season 2 of Andor came out, I don't even give a shit. Like all this shit that keeps coming out, they're coming out with a mole series, animated mole series. The animation's gonna be better than Clone Wars. It's gonna have Darth Talon in it. They're finally doing Darth Talon, and it's like I don't even give a shit. I don't even care because they're probably gonna fuck it up. They're probably gonna neuter her. She's not gonna be the sexy she's not gonna be the sexy, seductive Twi'lek Sith from the comics. It's not gonna be the same Darth Talon. They're gonna neuter her. They're gonna make her a totally different character from what we are wanting.
Trans.
So, chances are we're not going to get the Twi'lek in the bikini. We're not going to see all the skin showing. We're just not. We're not going to get Darth Talon from the comics or the expanded universe, because anybody that doesn't know this, I've said this on the channel many times, my favorite time periods in Star Wars. Old Republic, Legacy, which takes place like 130 years after Return of the Jedi, which is Darth Talon, Cade Skywalker. You know, there's like a whole new Sith that come back. And then the Clone Wars era. And no, not Dave Filoni's Clone Wars. I'm talking the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars multimedia project. I'm talking the original Clone Wars when like Grievous was a badass.
Samurai Jack anime.
The Quinlan Voss comics, the Star Wars Republic comics from the early 2000s, shit like that. I'm talking about like the Jedi comics.
Samurai Jack TV show.
So, yeah, I'm talking about like when clone troopers were actually like Mandalorian badasses, and they were proud to be Mandalorian badasses. Before they turned them into fucking, you know, fruity pebble characters. Go ahead and load up Battlefront 2.
The game came out when Revenge of the Sith came out.
Remind me to turn the music. Yeah, this game came out the same year. Revenge of the Sith came out. So shout out to LucasArts, may they rest in peace. Shout out to Pandemic, may they rest in peace. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and yeah, I don't want to get copyrighted for that.
Now you want to get copyrighted for Imperial March.
Nope.
Turn the sound effects on.
I mean, I'd say like 60 or 50 is pretty good, right?
Yeah. Speech.
But yeah, is the music playing?
No.
So I turned it off.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna do multiplayer, Mike.
That's online.
Oh, what the fuck, man?
You gotta do split screen. That's what 2-player is.
Wait, we're still on, right?
Yeah.
Single player.
Oh, go back.
What do you mean?
Split
Screen. We're doing couch co-op. It shouldn't be fucking rocket science. Are you in?
Yeah.
Alright.
Says already.
Alright. We're gonna do instant action.
Because we're all about that. So we just like add all the fucking planets.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna play on all the planets
From episode 3.
from episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. So
Look these up.
yeah, it's fine. You got Coruscant, Conquest, right?
One of them we could do like a space battle.
And then you got Felucia, right? Conquest.
Yeah.
And then you got Skip,
Camino?
Kashyyyk.
Wasn't Camino in that?
The hell's XL?
I have no idea.
No, Camino wasn't in Revenge of the Sith. I don't think so.
But what was that rainy planet where they killed Kiadi Mundi?
It's not rain, that's snow.
Oh.
And that's Darth Plagueis' planet, Megiddo. I mean, I'm sorry, not ghetto. Plagueis is not from the ghetto. Hold up real quick, let me throw this out. Now, yeah, that's Plagueis' planet. That's where the Muns are from, Megiddo.
Is that even in this game?
That's in this game, yeah. That's where Kiadi Mundi dies. He gets fucking gunned down. And then returns in the Acolyte 160 years earlier Yeah. Before he's even born, he gets reincarnated
I love it.
in the Acolyte.
Gotta love it. You already added Kashyyyk.
So we added Kashyyyk, alright, and then Mustafar will add last.
Yeah.
That's like a final homage moment. My Gito.
I thought Mos Eisley was it.
Clone War. I don't know how many I can add, by the way. Polis Massa, that's the spaceport where Luke and Leia are born, where Padme just dies.
Tatooine's, but like, it's at the end of the movie.
So,
Tatooine's in the movie, but
Tatooine's in the movie for like 2 seconds, and it's not even Mos Eisley, it's like fucking, but you know, we'll see if we have enough room for it.
we're doing any of like space.
And we have the Tantine IV, Utapau.
We gotta do Space Coruscant, cause like, that's what the movie starts at.
No Yavin 4. We can do,
Space Coruscant. They don't even have it.
we could do add Space Kashyyyk.
I guess. Utapau. Which one was it? Utapau.
I don't know how many I'm gonna have here, so I'm gonna be careful with what I choose. Mustafar.
Was Naboo in this shit?
No, I don't think so. This I'm gonna do Assault. Mustafar. That's just gonna be that. And then, Polis Massa, I guess. Do Conquest for that. Mustafa! You think I got one more left?
Which one's Utapau? Yeah, you got one more left.
You know, the Tantine IV was in it, too. Remember, that was Bail Organa's ship before he gave it to the rebellion. So, I mean, I don't know. Do we hold on. Obviously no, like, original trilogy planets. No Hoth, no fucking Death Star, no...
Which one's the one where he killed Grievous on?
It's Utapau.
That's what...
I have that on here.
That's what that was. Like, what the fuck was Utapau?
You know what? We'll just do this. I'm not... This is enough. Right?
Yeah.
Nah, give a fuck about that. Go ahead and launch. Alright, so, yeah. Get ready to play. We're on Coruscant. But, yeah, 20 years, man. It's been 20 years, and it got re-released in theaters. And I want to see a volume test real quick before we get all crazy and shit. See if you can hear the game and me. Yeah, it's pretty good actually.
I don't know if you could hear me or not. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. I mean, I'll probably do it like 50. Yeah, we can hear you, Mike. It's pretty clear.
Why is Darth Maul here? Did he get killed?
But I mean, we could lower it a little bit more. We could do like 50 for each.
Then
Yeah, that's good. We'll do that, I guess. Yo, yeah, why is Darth Maul here? That's a little weird.
create a time paradox. I'll play this shit.
Ages. I forgot how to play. That's how bad I am right now.
Where you at?
Forgot how to aim, forgot how to shoot.
Oh, there you
Yeah, I mean, like 20 years it's been, you know, crazy shit. I remember going to see this movie in theaters too, by the way. I remember going to see Revenge of the Sith. And, okay, I need to change the controls. Something's fucked up with the controls.
Didn't you buy the Lego game?
Hold on, let me get to certain shit first.
I don't know. I don't remember remember because I wasn't even born yet. Same year, but not same day. Same time, same bed.
Whatever, I'll just have to get used to it. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, 20 years it's been, and it's just crazy that like a fucking 20-year-old movie can outbeat like modern Star Wars. Like old Star Wars is beating new Star Wars. Like a movie that was released 20 years ago can fucking make more money than any of the sequels did day one of release. And it's an old ass movie. And then I mean, it just blows my mind. And people are like, bro, nobody cares anymore. Like, Disney needs to just sell the fucking rights back. The thing is, too, is I saw an interview where George was talking, and it was a more recent interview with George Lucas, and it's almost like he doesn't even give a shit anymore that he sold it. So, like, George is in the phase of, like, he's moved on. And people think he's just gonna get it back, and then, you know, everything's gonna be hunky-dory, and he's gonna... I think you're not gonna see his sequels if he does get it back. If he ever did get it back, he'd probably just fucking decanonize everything. And just be like, so the original 6 are canon, and that's it. And, yep, that's it. I'm gonna die now, so... I got what in the end, I got what I wanted, but, you know... I don't think it's what people are gonna think it's gonna be, where, like, if he got the rights back, he'd fucking make the sequels and shit. That's not gonna happen. It would be, I think the least George would do if he ever got it back would be decanonize everything that happened the last fucking 20 years since Revenge of the Sith was released. So, Filoni Baloney's Clone Wars would be decanon. That would be fucking considered, you know... fake.
Well, if it's the manga, George.
And other things, you know, so everything Disney released would be considered fake, like fan film shit. He would just consider it all fan film shit, decanonize all of it.
Frag out.
And but I don't think you'd see, like, you're not gonna see get to play as Mace Windu, motherfucker. Samuel Jackson, motherfucker. This is a tasty burger. This is a tasty burger. I'm Mace Windu, motherfucker. I almost killed Palpatine. Get shit on. All because of one fucking wrong move. Like the whole galaxy. Like he had the ability to end the entire fucking Clone Wars, kill fucking Palpatine. He was like such a badass, and then like all it took was Anakin cutting his hand off for him to fucking like for the whole Republic to just fall. I mean, that's crazy. That's just wild. Wild shit. Oh, I died. Oh, that went on for short term.
Just like in the movie.
Don't listen to me. But yeah, it's wild, man. I mean, I can't believe like it just takes one zap, and then like the whole fate of the galaxy's sealed.
Frag out.
Like he was so close to killing Palpatine, and Anakin fucked the whole thing up. Like I don't get it. Why would you do that? Anakin, why would you do that? He's too powerful. I don't get it. I don't get it. Crazy shit too is like Mace actually trusted him too. Like Mace actually was like, okay, like you may have actually earned my trust once and for all. And then he just goes and whoop, does a 180. So it's like, well, there goes all that trust out the window. So if you were gonna get forbidden for all the treasons you committed against the Jedi, like marrying Padme and shit, well, that's pretty much over, you know? I mean, like, maybe he would have forgiven you, maybe he would have had your back at the council, maybe he would have said it's okay for him to bang Padme's guts out. He helped us kill the Sith Lord. He helped us destroy the Sith from rising. But instead you did the complete opposite, and, well, shit went downhill after that, so.
You may have banged the Sith Lord.
Yep. It's okay if he was gonna bang the Sith Lord. It's not like Obi-Wan didn't know either. Like, Obi-Wan was like, oh yes, he's definitely smashing Padme. And it's like...
And the Clone Wars tried to ruin that shit.
And then, like, Yoda even knows about it in the movie, too. Like, in the scene where he's in Yoda's, apartment room and they're, like, meditating together in the dark. He's like, I sense a lot of things, Master Yoda. And then, like, Yoda's like, I could see you are secretly banging Padme. Like, he's, you know, he's, like, pretty much opening up to Yoda. Yoda pretty much knows what the fuck's going down. Like, Yoda already knows what he's up to and shit, so, because Yoda knows everything. Yoda's just like, yeah, tread carefully, motherfucker. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, look, movie's a fucking masterpiece. Probably my favorite one out of all of them. If I had to rank the whole saga, like if we're talking, and I don't count 7, 8, and 9 because those aren't even fucking canon. That happened in a fever dream, and that's that. I'm still getting over that fever dream. It's like having like a very bad, you know.
I remember walking out of the fucking...
So that's not canon. That never happened. So we're talking about the original 6. I'm talking about 1 through 6. If I had to rank them, it would be Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back, The Phantom Menace, Return of the Jedi, Attack of the Clones, and then A New Hope. That's my ranking of all 6. But obviously Revenge of the Sith is number 1 for me. That's top tier. I remember going to see that in the movie theater with my dad and my grandpa. And pretty much my whole fucking family. I remember the whole movie theater being packed. Everybody was dressed like it was fucking Comic-Con. They were dressed like they were going to Star Wars Celebration. And this is like the early days of Star Wars Celebration. Before Star Wars Celebration was a big thing. Before it was fucking, you know, neutered by Disney, and before it was ruined by Disney, before it was just a bunch of fake fucking paid actors going to fucking celebrate stupid shit that nobody cares about. That's another thing you gotta realize, is like a lot of Star Wars Celebration, shout out to the actors who go to it, like Hayden and shit. Shout out to Hayden. But like, a lot of the people that you see in the audience at the Star Wars celebrations now, that's all paid actors and shit. That's all people that like they've never even seen a fucking Star Wars movie. It's just people holding light sticks and screaming and yelling, and they're like hooraying for shit that they've never even seen, you know. So, it's all paid seats pretty much by Disney. Disney pays for seats to be filled for people so they can act like they still have a fan base and act like they still have people that give a shit, when in reality the real hardcore fans, the true fans, the people who've been around for a very long time, the ones that hate everything Disney create, those people aren't going to it, and that's a huge that's a huge majority of the fan base, is that all those people. Because people like me, you can go on YouTube, you can see me on camera on the one at like 2017 or some shit, whenever Last Jedi came out. I was at one of them, and I'm like in the background at like a certain point, and like you can pause it and I'll be in the background. I'm literally like walking behind Kit Fisto and shit. But that was like one of the times where it was like in my area, and it was like in Florida. It was down here in Orlando, and I was like, shit, Like, it's down here. I might as well fucking go. You know, Chewbacca was on stage. You know what I mean? He was like, Chewbacca was there when I was there. Like, a lot of people were there when I was there. So it was kind of like, you know, I was like, fuck it, I'll go. See what it's all about. See if it's any, you know, any good. It was alright. I mean, I wouldn't go to one of them ever again. To be honest, I wouldn't pay to go to those things. I mean, the thing is, too, is that it was, like, really fucking expensive to go to. And a lot of it was just fucking sitting and watching stupid shit get, you know, revealed. That shit that would just... This was before... Mind you, this was the celebration before Last Jedi was released, so this is when people still thought the, like, franchise was gonna be on top. This is when people thought it was gonna pop off again. This is when people were thinking, like, oh, the future of Star Wars is great. And then, like, after the fucking movie came out, everything just went downhill after that. But in my opinion, Star Wars kind of fucking died when George Lucas sold it. It's just people didn't realize it until Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker and the streaming services and Disney Plus and all the shit that, you know, it's just, you know, facade distractions. To distract you from the fact that, like, Star Wars is not the same it used to be. It's not the same franchise it was back when Legends and the old expanded universe. I'm not even calling it Legends. Like, I really don't want to. I don't want to call it Legends because Legends is not the real name for it. It's the expanded universe. It's the original expanded universe. And it's what I was in love with. It's what I grew up with. The Genndy series. Samurai Jack style cartoon Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars series where it's just action, fucking shit getting blown up, clone troopers shooting shit, like, you know, Jedi's cutting shit in half, Anakin killing Ventress, Obi-Wan, like, literally fighting Dirge to the point where Dirge just blows himself up and explodes into a million pieces and guts and shit. You know, Mace Windu crushing Grievous's ribcage. The whole thing. Just, you know, the Genndy series is just fucking crazy shit. And I mean, and then you get, I mean, the Filoni Clone Wars look, for its time, and there are a couple arcs, like the Rise of Darth Maul, Return of Darth Maul, whatever the fuck. Where they bring Darth Maul back. There are arcs like that where you're like, this is really good shit. But other than that, there are episodes in that series that are really good, and that they change Star Wars. And they, like, totally reconceptualize what you think Star Wars is. Wait, whose side were you on?
I was on the Empire.
You mean the CIA? You mean the Separatists?
Yeah.
You're a Separatist, Anakin.
But then that thing had, like, Jango Fett on it, and I'm like, Jango Fett he died in the tech?
That you know of. That we know of.
I want to see what you get to play as. Akashi.
Wookiees! Oh yeah, that's right, the Wookiees were in this movie. I forgot about that. Like, they brought back Chewbacca. Originally, and that was the thing too, the original script for Revenge of the Sith was gonna have Han Solo, and it was gonna have like a kid Han Solo meeting Chewie and shit, and they get the Falcon. There was gonna be a whole bunch of shit in the movie that was not in it. There's supposedly, which I would love to fucking see this, is there was like supposedly gonna be like a 6-hour cut, or a 4-hour cut of Revenge of the Sith, like a director's cut. A Lucas cut, if you will, kinda like the Snyder cut. But there was going to be a Revenge of the Sith Lucas cut, and it was going to have... There's a speeder bike, holy shit. It's going to have like 4 hours of fucking content in it. It was just going to be out the ass. Oh, and here's the thing, too, is, you know, when Clone Wars Season 7 came out, I was like, hey, this is so cool. And then I realized, oh yeah, that's right, none of this shit
Makes sense.
Actually makes any sense. And I don't need Clone Wars Season 7 for Dave Filoni to just write his little Ahsoka
Fantasy
fan fiction into Revenge of the Sith.
Why is he in fucking... Why am I playing as Jango?
I don't need Ahsoka to be a character to prove that Anakin's downfall was an impactful downfall. That, look, you don't need the... And that's the thing, too, is people actually think you need the Clone Wars series to understand Anakin's downfall. No, you don't. You actually don't. The original 6 movies that Lucas created are pretty fucking clear as to what the point of his downfall is, why he becomes Darth Vader, the whole thing. You know, first he's this kid, right? And I'll explain it to you in whole, without even bringing Ahsoka. I will break the whole fucking thing down for you without even mentioning Ahsoka. And you're gonna go, wait, why didn't you mention Clone Wars? Wait, why didn't you mention the Filoni Clone Wars? Why? It's good! No, it's not. It's ass. Like I said, there are certain arcs in it. There are certain episodes in it that are good Star Wars content, but as a whole, as a series, it does not expand the prequels. It does not enhance the prequels. It doesn't make the prequels any better than they already are. The prequels were already good. It's just people didn't fucking realize that. It took people fucking 20 plus years to realize that, holy shit, the prequels are actually decent. Like, they're actually fucking masterpieces. They're really good. It took people 20 fucking years to realize that. Because that is my trilogy. The prequel trilogy is the trilogy I grew up with. Those are the trilogies, that was the trilogy I went to go see. Those were the 3 movies I went to go see. Those were the characters I grew up with. Those were the action figures I had. The merchandising for this movie was fucking off the charts. The lightsaber fucking, the cereal spoons, the light up cereal spoons, the lightsabers that glow in the dark, that probably nuked my fucking body and gave me who knows what. You know, the whole fucking shebang, like everything for this movie, this, you know, the merchandising, the toys, the fucking galactic heroes, the action figures, the video game, the other video games, this game, the Lego game being released like fucking 3 months before the movie even came out, and it spoiled the whole movie. I played the Lego game with Pops, and we played the whole fucking episode of Revenge of the Sith. He's like, I don't know if we should play this because it may spoil the movie, Nick. And then he's like, you know what, fuck it. And then we knew what the fuck happened before we even saw the movie, but it was like, who the fuck cares? You know what's gonna happen anyway. Like, we know what's gonna go down, so fuck it. You might as well, you only live once, right? So we were playing the fucking Lego game, spoiled the ending, and then you had this game was out at the time. Remember playing this, renting this from Blockbuster, playing this for a little bit. Then the Revenge of the Sith game, remember playing that, and that being fun. And then you had other, I'm pretty sure there were other games too at the time. But just shitloads of fucking games. And then, like I said, the comics. You had the Clone Wars comics that were going on at the time, like the Quinlan Voss ones, the you know, the Republic stuff, the stuff that was actually, that was the original Clone Wars. That was the stuff that was covered, that was the expanded universe. You had the Clone Wars multimedia project, which was the novels, the Genndy Tartakovsky series, the comics from the expanded universe, all that stuff from the expanded universe that is now considered legends. You know, that was all the stuff. That was the Clone Wars. That was the original Clone Wars, was the 2D series, the novels like Labyrinth of Evil, Shatterpoint, you know, all these Clone Wars-esque novels, the Medstar duology, Yoda Dark Rendezvous. Speaking of Yoda, I'm gonna fucking play as him, that's why not. 'Cause why not? But you had all these novels that were Clone Wars novels that took place in between 2 and 3. Those were that was the expanded universe. That was the fucking original Clone Wars, not fucking Dave Filoni's Clone Wars, not the, you know, not what Dave would go back and change years later. That, you know, you're changing major details shit here. Oh, this is you, by the way? You're in the tank? Oh shit, I'll go fuck with someone else then. But Dave was changing. He literally changed shit that, like, he put a character that died in episode 2 in the Clone Wars. Like, that's how much Dave didn't give a fuck. Like, Dave did not care about. He just wanted to create his own shit. He wanted to create his own stories. He wanted to do his own little fan fiction, and he still does. He still does. When people say Dave's the future of Star Wars, Dave's gonna save Star Wars. No, he's fucking not. No, he's not. He even clarified at Star Wars Celebration this year. He said, "I'm telling Ahsoka's story. It's not Anakin's story anymore. But I'm gonna continue to use Anakin as a Force ghost, and I'm gonna play with that action figure that George created, and use him in my little fan films and my little Ahsoka shit, because I can do that now. Because like I said, I've said this many of times on the channel before. I think that Dave was behind this shit from the get-go. I think that Dave started this shit. I think he's the reason why Disney bought it. And to be honest, I really think he was okay with it, because that meant now he could do whatever the fuck he wanted, and he didn't have to get approval from George. He could create his own little stupid stories and his own dumbass shit in George's universe. And all it took was Disney buying it. So when Disney bought it, he's probably like, oh good, now I can do my own little shit now. Look, Filoni, he's Italian, shout out, Paisan, but like, the guy's evil. You know what I'm saying? He's evil. Everybody who works at Disney, everybody who works for Lucasfilm now, they're all evil. They don't care about the fucking brand. Because if they did, they would listen to the fans. If they actually gave a shit, they would take criticism and like do something with it. But if they also gave a shit, they would make changes. They would make changes, and they have yet to make changes. They don't make a single fucking change. They continue to push an agenda. They continue to do the same shit. Doesn't matter what Disney Plus series it is. Doesn't matter what fucking film it is. Doesn't matter, oh, we're coming out with a Mandalorian and Grogu movie. We're coming back to theaters. And I'll laugh my ass off if this Mandalorian and Grogu movie bombs. And it does worse than fucking Revenge of the Sith getting re-released in theaters. If Revenge of the Sith makes more opening day being re-released, and it's a movie that was released 20 years ago, then Mandalorian and Grogu, we have a serious problem on our hands. And as every fucking Star Wars character said in the movies, I have a fucking very bad feeling about this. Because that should tell you right there that people do not give a flying fuck about your new shit. They don't care about Disney owning Star Wars. They don't give a fuck about Mandalorian and Grogu. They don't care. I keep wanting to say Gugu, like, cause it's such a dumbass fucking name. Like, it's so stupid and retarded. It's not even fucking funny. But I just like, it's just, like, nobody gives a shit. There are people who give a shit because they think it's Star Wars and they don't know anything else. And it's, I feel sorry. Excuse me. I feel sorry for them because they think that's what Star Wars is. It's not. Because it's sad, because you have a whole generation who grew up with the fucking sequels, and you have a whole generation who grew up with the fucking, the Disney Plus shit content. You have a whole generation that thinks that Mandalorian and Grogu are Star Wars. And, shout out to them, man. Shout out, man. God bless them. God bless them. But I don't fucking care, because I didn't grow up with that shit. That's not the Star Wars I grew up with. There was a specific time capsule where I grew up with Star Wars. I'm not saying that if you grew up with this new Disney Star Wars, you suck balls. That's not what I'm saying. If you grew up with it, shout out to you, man. God bless you. You know what I'm saying? God bless you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you guys. But, like, rest in peace. Because it sucks. Because it's dog shit. And I'm sorry that it's dog shit. I'm so sorry that you have to deal with... I'm so sorry that kids these days have to deal with this type of Star Wars. I'm sorry. How did I lose? What the fuck?
Because Order 66 was happening.
Because Order 66. But if you grew up with that, shout out to you, hats off to you. I'm not knocking it, but, like, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Like, I'm sorry, Anakin. I love you. I welcome any Star Wars fan. But if you grew up with this shit, I don't know what to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
like,
this was the planet.
God bless you. Hats off. But I grew up in a specific time capsule where it was awesome, and back then, people hated my Star Wars. You have to understand, people fucking hated the prequels. Like, people despise the fucking prequels. What the hell's going on right now? Who the fuck's pushing me?
That's alright.
Why'd I get pushed into a rock?
I don't know.
But, like, people hated my Star Wars and the Star Wars I grew up with. People fucking hated the prequels. I don't think my dad did. My dad, see, the funny story with Star Wars and with me is why I love Star Wars, the original stuff, the original 6. And the expanded universe, the comics, the novels, the stuff that was created when George was still around, the games, LucasArts, the stuff we should have got, the games we should have got, Battlefront 3, 1313, the Darth Maul game that was going to happen where it was going to be M for mature probably, you could cut people in fucking million pieces and shit. Like, that game was going to be fucking awesome. And we never got it, because, Disney bought it and shut LucasArts down, fired a whole bunch of people, and, yeah, that was that, and, but, yeah, I have that whole hatred, I have, like, the Sith in me now, I have, like, fear, hatred, I have all the feelings of the Sith, I have it, but, but anyway, so let me, first, let me explain the downfall of Anakin Skywalker without Ahsoka. I'm not going to include the... I'm going back and forth with shit, and I don't want to ramble and lose. I don't want to rant and start losing where I go. So, I don't want to bounce from topic to topic, and then people are like, yo, he's just going off and he's all over the place. So, let me finish this Darth Vader downfall thing, okay? I'm going to break down the character of Anakin Skywalker for you in a matter of a couple minutes. And not once am I going to mention the Filoni Clone Wars series, and I'm not even going to mention the Genndy Tartakovsky series, because it's as cool as it is, you don't need it to see the bigger picture of Anakin's downfall. I'm going to mention, like, a quick thing from the Republic comics, and then I'm going to, but you don't even need to do that. It's just one little conversation that he had with Ashred Het, who goes on to become the Sith Lord in the Legacy comics. But before he was a Sith Lord, he was a Jedi Padawan. He was actually Ki-Adi-Mundi himself's Padawan, Ashred Het, and he was a Tusken Raider Jedi. So I'm gonna explain that character. I'm gonna intersect him a little bit, but I'm not gonna try to include him too much. Okay, so Anakin is born with no father, on a backwater planet with no fucking water on it, a completely desolated desert. He's born into slavery through the Hutts and Watto. He has to work for Watto, and him and his mom are slaves. And one day, I could mention Plagueis and everything like that, and like the manipulation of the midichlorians, but I'm not going to do that. Let's just say we don't know who Anakin's father is. Let's say, a lot of people say, oh, it was Plagueis manipulating the midichlorians and all this other stuff. And yes, that's my backstory of who his father may possibly be, is Plagueis manipulating the midichlorians with Palpatine. And the Force, like, snapped back at them. Like, they were fucking with the Force, and they were trying to play God. And the Force was like, nah, you don't do that. And the Force created Anakin as a, as like a nice try, but I'm God, not you. So, I'm not God, obviously. I'm just saying, like, that's what the Force was saying when it created Anakin, it was basically telling Plagueis and Palpatine, like, you're not God, you don't get to play God. So the Force manipulated the midichlorians and created Anakin. Yo, Kiadi Mundi. The Sith have been extinct for a millennia. I'm back, bitches. 120 years before I'm even fucking born. Acolyte. Cancelled. Because it's not canon. Anyways, but, so, yeah, that's my canon backstory for Anakin's father, who his father might potentially be. That's not George's. Like, George doesn't really care about Plagueis all that much. He didn't create the novel. The only thing George really said that... the only thing George ever really determined about Plagueis was that he was a Mun. That he was that species that you see in, Episode 2, the banking clan guy with the big-ass head. And he's got, like, a long neck and shit. That's what a Mun is. Like, they look like aliens, kind of. It's kind of hard to... Aliens, it's fucking everybody in Star Wars is an alien. But they're like, they got like the long fingers, they got like long arms, long legs, they're very tall, they got like huge heads. That's what a Mun is. And they're from this planet that we're on right now. They're from Megiddo. But, that was mainly what George's whole thing was just make Plagueis a Mun. That's all you need to do. Canonically, he's a Mun. He's a part of the banking clan. But his like, what is it? His alter ego, like Hugo Damask, the one that he uses in the book, that's really like, George didn't really come up with that. That was James Luceno. Shout out to James Luceno, by the way. I'm pretty sure he's a Paisan as well. He created the Plagueis novel and the fucking Labyrinth of Evil novel. Two really great Star Wars prequel novels. One's a prequel to The Phantom Menace, the other one's a prequel to the Revenge of the Sith. And I lost, fuck. But, shout out to Luceno. Shout out to Matthew Stover, who made the, Revenge of the Sith novelization. Another great fucking novel. Oh, and James Luceno, I think he also did the Darth Vader book, Dark Lord, Rise of Darth Vader. And Cloak of Deception. So, I have all these books. Eventually I will review them on the channel. I just have to go back and I want to listen to the audiobooks. And I want to... Because I want to do in-depth reviews of those books. That's how fucking good they are. Because they just are. And I'm probably going to do other video content for the release of Revenge of the Sith. I'm probably going to show you those books. I'm probably going to show you my Legends novels collection. I'm going to show you my movie collection. I'll probably show you my action figures. Probably show you my comics. You know, I'll probably show you guys that stuff. That's probably going to be stuff you're going to see on the channel the next couple days. So if you see like a shift and you see shit change and you're like, yo, what's all this weird ass content? It's for Revenge of the Sith. Because there's a strong place that this movie, it's my favorite one out of the saga. But I have such strong memories with this movie. I have strong memories with the games. This fucking movie, this is what, I don't know why I did that. That was weird. But this movie, this is what, you know, this was my final, you know, this was when I was a kid, man. This is when I was a fucking Star Wars fan. These were the movies that I got to grow up with. But anyways, back to the fucking Vader and Anakin thing, because I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to bounce around. But look, the Plagueis novel, fucking fantastic. You can consider it canon or not. Read it if you haven't read it. Listen to the audiobook. You can listen to it for free online. Just type in StarWarsAudiobooks.com and you can listen to any audiobook you want for free. If you don't want to read it, listen to it like in your spare time. Like it's basically like a podcast. You can listen to them, the chapters and everything. Fantastic fucking novel, perfection, chef kiss. It just adds to the prequels. It's basically what Filoni's Clone Wars can't do. Like if people say, oh, Filoni's Clone Wars adds to the prequels because they just want to watch shit, they can't read, they don't know how to read. People who say Filoni's Clone Wars is a masterpiece and that it adds to the prequels, you know, you can say that, but also go back and read the expanded universe novels from when the original prequels were coming out, and those add to the prequels more than Filoni's Clone Wars series does. So you want like a proper expansion to the prequels? Go and read the fucking old EU novels. Like I said, Labyrinth of Evil, the Revenge of the Sith novelization, Darth Plagueis, because that shit just enhances the prequels by like tenfolds. It makes it look like, you know, it goes from... Are we on the same team?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It goes from people talking shit about it on Reddit to... they're a masterpiece when you include the novels, let alone Filoni's Clone Wars. So yeah, those in their own right, they're, you know, Plagueis, the Dark Lord trilogy, the Darth Maul books, the Kenobi book, you know, the Darth Bane trilogy, all that shit, they're all masterpieces. That's all S tier Star Wars content that you should just go check out if you're a big ass Star Wars fan. If you're an old school Star Wars fan, you loved Star Wars when it, you know, and you grew up with the prequels, you grew up with the fucking original 6. You know what I'm saying? You grew up with the original 6. You grew up playing these games. You grew up with the fucking... Before Disney bought it, go back and fucking either read or listen to the audiobooks of the expanded universe novels, because they're fucking S tier and they just add to the overarching saga, whether it's the Thrawn trilogy or whatever. just it's no brainer. Just go back, check them out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm gonna show you guys them. I'm gonna do a video showcasing all the books I have. I don't have like a whole bunch. I just have the ones that are really good. I have the ones that are considered like the best in the whole entire fucking expanded universe. The ones that really add to the 6 films. That expand the 6 films and make them even better. Even though the original 6 films don't need to be expanded, they're already good as is. Somebody, yo, you have that ATTP? Fucking shoot those walkers. Those things are annoying. They're just standing there. Nobody's fucking like... Go blow those guys up, because they're annoying as fuck. But, yeah, no, just, they're phenomenal. Fantastic. Novels are great. But anyways, aside from the expanded universe characters like Plagueis and everything like that, and like all that stuff, we're talking the prequels, and we're talking Anakin's downfall with just the prequel trilogy and just the original 6 movies, okay? That's what we're talking about. So I clarified the whole Plagueis thing. Whether you consider Plagueis canon or not, that's up to you. Now, let's go back, let's run it back. So his whole backstory, Anakin's whole backstory, literally born without a father on a backwater planet to a single mother, and they're both owned by the Hutts and Watto, and they're slaves. And literally, in order to survive, they have to be slaves. Because in the Star Wars universe, George even said it, slavery is a big deal. It's a big part of the universe. It's a big deal. I know a lot of people, it's like a fucking hot topic for a lot of people, and like slavery is a big deal for a lot of people. But like in this universe, for you to believe Anakin's downfall, for you to believe Anakin would do such heinous shit, you have to understand where he comes from. So he's born into, you know, this backwater planet with no water on it. It's just a fucking desert wasteland. Single mother. They're owned by slaves. The Hutts. Watto. And then this Jedi comes along. One day this Jedi just comes along. How do you go into, how do you do the roll thing?
I'm trying to figure that out.
With the droidica, how do you...
I don't know.
Like, does he not roll? Is there a reason why he's not rolling?
He doesn't.
Why does he not... He want to roll with it? What's the deal here?
I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet.
Anyways, so then these people come, right? From the desert. There's a Gungan, a Jedi. It's like fucking Good, Bad, and the Ugly. There's a Jedi, a pretty woman, and a Gungan, and a lizard man, or whatever the fuck, a retarded looking... Also, shout out to Jar Jar. Like, Ahmed Best doesn't get enough credit. Like, Ahmed Best, you're a goat. He got a lot of hate back in the day. I love Jar Jar. I don't know what the fuck the big deal is with people with Jar Jar. Fucking my dad grew up with 3PO and people hated his ass. Everybody hated 3PO from the originals. They just weren't vocal about it because there was no fucking internet back then. But like Jar Jar is basically the 3PO and R2 of my generation. But I love fucking Jar Jar. He's hilarious as shit. And I'd rather watch Jar Jar than fucking BD whatever the fuck, dildo droid, hairdryer droid. You know, I just, you know, whatever. But, or what's that thing? Hey, hey, Babu Frick from episode 9, that stupid ass. That was dumb as shit. Like, literally, the whole character's, hey, hey! Like, how's that funny? How's that comedic? How's that a good character? How did we both lose? What the fuck is going on here? Bro, Obi-Wan, he won. It's canon. He beat Grievous.
Holy shit.
Order 66.
Oh my god.
Space battle, here we go.
He was a good friend.
He was a good friend and a good pilot. Alright, we're doing Republic. Fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a pilot.
Yo, where's that certificate?
But, nah, shout out to Ahmed Best. You're a goat. Shout out to Jar Jar. Good character. Actually, really good character. But, so there's this guy and a beautiful woman and a lizard guy. And they come from the desert. And they just come into his life one day and, you know, oh shit, there's a Jedi. And then he says to Padme, are you an angel? Because, like, he's like, holy shit, like, all this time on this planet, I've been sitting here, I've been suffering. Literally, me and my mother were slaves. We suffer. We deal with horrible shit. And then all of a sudden, one day, this Jedi comes. And he's sticking up for him. And he's kind of like a father figure to him. And he actually gives a shit about Annie, right? And then this beautiful girl, are you an angel? Right? I know, it's like, it's cringe-ass dialogue, but, like, there's, like, a beautiful girl comes along, and then a fucking, and a guy that actually is, like, he doesn't have a dad, and this guy is kind of like a dad to him, and he gives a shit about him. And they need help to get off the planet, because, you know, their ship, the fucking engine, the generator, the whatever, the hard drive took a shit, right? So he's like, alright, I'll help you guys, because, you know, Anakin, that's who he is, that's his character. He's like, I'll help you. Right? I know how to race pods. I'm a pod racer. I do it in my spare time. And, you know, I'm building one because he's a mechanic. And he built 3PO. And this kid, he has hobbies. This kid actually does shit. He has hobbies. He actually, you know, he loves his mom. And he works for Watto. And he's a mechanic. And he knows how to do shit. Because they have to in order to survive. Oh, there goes that ship. And, he's like, yeah, I'll help you guys. So he wins the pod race. And they're banking on everything. Mind you, everything's against Anakin with the pod race. There's no reason why Anakin should have won that pod race. Everything was against him. Sebulba was a better fucking pilot. Or a better pod racer or whatever. Everything was stacked against him. Every odd you could possibly think of was stacked against Anakin. And there's this Jedi, this beautiful girl, and this Gungan. And they're trapped on this planet. And if he doesn't win the pod race, then Qui-Gon even said, I'm pretty sure Qui-Gon even says, if the boy loses, we become your slaves as well. Like, you get to keep the money, you get to keep the reward, and you get to keep me, the girl, and the Gungan as your slaves. So, already Qui-Gon's like setting up fucking... He's literally like playing heads or tails, flipping a coin. It's a coin toss. Coin toss? Coin toss. Yeah, coin toss. Yeah. It's kind of hard to speak, and, you know, coin toss. That's a new word, bro. I'm coining it. Fuck it. It's mine. But everything's stacked against Anakin, right? And, like, even Qui-Gon's like, yeah, if he fucking loses, he loses. There's nothing I can do about that. All I can do is trust in the Force. All I can do is trust in the Force, and the Force will guide him. Because the Force is strong with him. It's very religious in that sense, this series. And he's like, all I can do is trust in the Force, and the Force will lead the way. But there's a good chance if he loses, we're fucked. Like, we're stuck on the planet, we all become slaves, and that's it. Our whole our whole existence rides on this kid winning the fucking race. So Qui-Gon's like coin toss, almost said it again. Qui-Gon coin tosses this shit with fucking Watto. He makes a deal with Watto, and he's like, if the kid wins, he gets to be freed, and you give us the money to buy the part or whatever, right? The boy is freed, and we get the part, or we get the money for the part. I don't remember which one it was. It's been a while since I've seen Phantom Menace, but it could be both. I think it was we get the money for the part, because he was like doing some forced mind trick with him, where he's like, I have Republic credits, and he's like, I don't take that. I don't take no Republic credits. I only take a Ditarian credits. And Qui-Gon's like, no, you will have Republic credit. He's like, what do you think I am, stupid? The Jedi mind trick, it no work on me. The Jedi mind trick don't work on me, Jedi. So he's like, okay, I'll make a deal with you, scumbag. The boy wins the race. I get the boy, and I get the money to buy the part.
You gotta do it in the,
and you fuck off.
you gotta do it in the voice.
Oh, I gotta do the Qui-Gon voice?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If the boy wins the race, I get the boy, and I get the money for the part, and we take the part, and we leave this stupid planet. Anyways, but, you know, he's like, let's make a deal, asshole. You're not gonna let me pay with the money I got. Well, let's make a deal. So he's like, I trust in the Force, the kid will win the race. And then Watto's like, good luck with that. The kid never been in a race before. He's not a good racer. Not professionally, anyways. I'm banking on Sebulba. You know, Watto's banking on Sebulba. He bet on Sebulba's ass. And Qui-Gon's just like, alright, whatever. I trust in the Force. That's all that matters. The Force is strong with this boy. His midichlorian count is high as fuck, meaning he is the chosen one. Qui-Gon's already gone with the belief of, like, I've met Jesus, and, like, I'm taking him with me. That's what, when Qui-Gon meets Anakin, that's that whole thing, is like, I found the Messiah, I found the chosen one, I found the one who's gonna bring balance to the Force, I need to bring him back to the Jedi Temple no matter what, right? So, he's like, bets on him, and he's like, you know what? This kid's gonna win. I just have a fucking feeling. And he wins. But he has to leave his mom behind. And then, it's gonna be hard talking about this. But anyways, so he wins, and he goes with Qui-Gon, but only he was freed, so he has to leave his mom behind, and he doesn't want to. Because, yeah, he's the chosen one, he's got high midichlorians, but the thing is he's got a problem with attachment. He has, you see it with Padme, he has like feelings towards people, he has like attachment towards people. And he doesn't want to let his mom go. And it's typically natural feeling, because most Jedi, when they're, you know, they have to let it go. You gotta let it go. You want to become a Jedi, you have to, there's things you just have to let go. Because that's their whole stupid ass philosophy. You're not allowed to have emotions, you're not allowed to have connection, you're not allowed to have attachment, you can't love anybody, whatever. So he's like, man, I don't really want to go. He's like, I don't want to leave my mom behind. Like, I was freed, but my mom wasn't. Like, what the fuck, Qui-Gon? He's like, I'm sorry, Anakin, I wasn't able to free you both. He's like, Watto made the deal, and the deal was just you. And then his mom's like, just go, and don't look back. And he's like, alright. He's like, okay, if you say so, Mom, right? but I don't want to leave you behind. So he's like, excuse me. So he's like, but I am gonna come back for you. That's where it really gets fucked up too. So he leaves with them. And then he meets Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan's like, yeah, what's up, you know, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna be your new best friend and shit like that. I'm gonna be your new brother figure and stuff like that. And then he gets to leave with the pretty girl and the wise Jedi guy, and you know, oh cool, lightsaber, I want one of those, and I'm gonna. Is that what it's like to be a Jedi, Qui-Gon? Yes, I guess, Anakin. Right. And before they get on the ship, he's almost assassinated by Maul. Maul doesn't even know he's the chosen one. I don't even think fucking Palpatine knows about him yet. I don't even think Plagueis knows about him. I don't think anybody knows about him. Maul's just about to just kill him. And then they get on the ship without knowing who he even is. Like, you're literally... They don't sense who he is. And then he goes to Coruscant, and then he meets with the Jedi Temple, and they don't want him. They don't care about him. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about, Qui-Gon? What is this kid? Why does he mean so much? Like, why were you stuck on a desert planet for so long to bring us back this kid? And he's like, you don't understand. He's the chosen one. I feel it. He has a high metachlorian count. He is the... bless you. He is the one to be the chosen one. He is the one to bring balance to the Force. You know, he passes the fucking test like that. But they're like, he's too old. Like, he can't be trained. He's too old. He's not... He's got attachment problems. He's still... And he even says to the Jedi Council, like, I still miss my mom. And Yoda's like, oh, much fear in you, I sense. Fear leads to hate. Hate leads to anger. Anger leads to suffering. All paths to the dark side. Your future is very clouded, young Skywalker. Right? And they're all just like, this kid ain't shit, Qui-Gon. Like, why'd you bring this kid back? Like, they don't even like him. They hate his guts. They're like, what are you talking about? This kid's nothing. This kid has yet to prove shit. And Qui-Gon's like literally the only one who has faith in him. Obi-Wan doesn't even have faith in him. Obi-Wan's like, Master. But like, even Obi-Wan questions him, and he's like, why must you question the council, Master? And he's like, shut the fuck up, Obi-Wan. I'll do what I must. You know, fuck off. I'm going to train Anakin, whether you like it or not. Whether I have the approval of the council or not. Right? I'm training Anakin, whether you fucking like it or not. And then he basically tells the council, like, Obi-Wan's old enough to fucking teach himself. He doesn't need a fucking master anymore. He's his own master. He doesn't need to be a Padawan anymore. He gets what he has to do. And they're like, fine, we grant you... Well, first they're like, we'll sit on it. Go investigate this Sith Lord you were talking about. Because he's like, there's a Sith Lord, and then there's Kiadi's like, the Sith have been extinct for a millennium. But in the Acolyte, I said that, you know, they exist, and I lied. You know, whatever, that's not canon, we're not talking about that. I don't want to open that whole fucking thing of worms. But right, like, they're all on the belief, if you don't think you know, if you're going based on the Acolyte is not canon, the Sith have been extinct for millions of years. And it's only been the rule of two. There's not an army of Sith like the Old Republic. It's just 2 Sith, but they're in hiding. So people don't even know... Shut up. People don't even know they exist. Like, the Jedi don't even know they exist anymore, because the 2 Sith that do exist are in hiding. Plagueis and Palpatine, as of that point in the saga. So they're just like, yeah, whatever, Qui-Gon, a Sith Lord, that's kind of far-fetched. Like, the whole council, they're just dumb as shit. Like, anything he says, they're just like, yeah, okay, dude, whatever, you know. Yeah, Bigfoot's real, too, right? Like, aliens, you saw a UFO? You saw a UFO last night, too, Qui-Gon? Like, they just, like, everything that comes out of his mouth, they're like, alright, Qui-Gon's a crackpot. We don't believe his ass. He ain't a part of the council. There's a reason why he's not a part of the council. We don't believe you, Qui-Gon. Fuck off. So they're like, okay, Qui-Gon, go investigate this Sith Lord then if you think he's such a big threat. Go escort the Queen back to Naboo. We need you to disperse the, what is it? We need you to deal with the negotiations on Naboo. We need you to end the war on Naboo.
Naboo.
So go back to Naboo, bring the Queen back to Naboo,
Taboo.
end the war on Naboo, get rid of the Trade Federation, lock Newt Gunray's ass up, end that whole thing. Go do that, Qui-Gon, and then maybe we'll think about training Anakin, right? Maybe then we'll think about training this so-called Messiah character you talk about that you have faith in so much. Then he goes to Naboo with Obi-Wan and fucking dies. He gets killed, right? Qui-Gon gets stabbed, dies. This is where the father figure that Anakin needs is gone now. Because Qui-Gon was the specific father figure that Anakin needed in order to not turn to the dark side. But he dies. Palpatine succeeds. The Phantom Menace succeeds. That's why the whole movie's called The Phantom Menace, is the whole fucking fate of Anakin's fate. That whole fight scene between Maul, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, it's the fate of Anakin's future. If Qui-Gon dies, that's it. You're done. Like, Obi-Wan's not fit for that role, whether he wants to be or not, whether the Council thinks he is or not. So, Qui-Gon dies. There's a different scenario where if he didn't die, Anakin could have turned out a lot differently. They would have been okay with him being with Padme. He would have had his children. They would have been like fucking gods. They would have been untouchable because the Council can't say shit. Qui-Gon trained him. He became the chosen one like Qui-Gon said he did. Shit like that. That didn't happen. So Qui-Gon dies. And then at the end of the movie, Anakin's like, what's going to happen to me now, Obi-Wan? And Obi-Wan's like, I will train you, no matter what. I made a promise to my master. I made a promise to Qui-Gon. I may not like your ass. It doesn't matter. I may not know much about you. It don't matter. I may not be fit for this role. I may just be an older brother, Anakin, but at the end of the day, I'm not what you needed. But I promised my father and your father figure that I would protect you and I would train you, and that's what he wanted. So that was his dying wish. That's what I'm going to do. And then Obi-Wan goes to Yoda, and Yoda says, accept this, the Council does not. It's going to be hard to do Yoda. Accept this, the Council does not. Agree with you, we do not. But the Council has made their decision. Train the boy you will, whether it is a good decision or not. Sounds like Kermit. It's because I think it's the same dude. Isn't Frank Oz? Didn't he do the voice of Kermit?
I don't know, but you got killed by 2 Obi-Wans.
I got double Obi-Wan. But he's like, agree with you, the Council doesn't, but the choice has been made. Train the boy you will. And then he says to him, I will train you. Then episode 2 rolls around, right? So that's the whole first movie done. For anybody in the chat, I'm breaking down the whole... We're celebrating 20 years of Revenge of the Sith, and by doing that, I'm breaking down the whole fall of Anakin and rise of Darth Vader without including Ahsoka, Dave Filoni's Clone Wars, and just going by George's original vision and the original 6. I'm not including anything other than the original 6 content. And I'm trying to explain to people you do not need Dave Filoni's Clone Wars to enhance Anakin's downfall. You do not need the character of Ahsoka to enhance why he turns to the dark side. You don't. So now we're at episode 2. It opens up and he goes, Master, I haven't seen her in a while. I'm nervous, Master. And he's like, calm down, Anakin. I don't know what you're talking about. So it's like been like, what, 20 years or some shit? And it's been 20 years. And he's like, he's like, you're sweating, Anakin, calm down. And he's like, but Master, I haven't seen her in a while. It's clear that Obi-Wan knows that he has feelings for Padme. He had him when he was a little kid. And now he's like acting like a rebellious teenager. And he does. Him and Obi-Wan, they get into it a lot. Sorry, I didn't know it was you.
Fucking Count Dooku.
They get into it a lot. And like, he's like, you know, they're talking to Padme, and he's like, the council has instructed us to do this, Anakin. And Anakin's like, but why, Master? Why? And then he has that whole breakdown when he's talking to Padme. He's like, he's like, Obi-Wan holds me back. The council doesn't have faith in me, blah, blah, blah. He's like crying like a little baby to Padme, and she's like, you sound like a little kid. And he's like, I don't know. If you were from my standpoint, you'd understand. But you do kind of get where he's coming from. Like, they ripped him from his fucking mom. And like, and then she was like, go ahead, Anakin, make the choice. And he's like, alright, I made the choice, but was it fucking worth it? Because the Jedi Council ain't really that much greater than slavery on Tatooine with the Hutts and fucking Watto was. At least when I was on Tatooine, I was in slavery. I had my mom. My mom loved me. The fucking council doesn't love me. They don't have faith in me. They don't trust me. They don't care about me. I'm just a fucking force figure to them who's supposed to just become the best swordsman in the galaxy, the most powerful being in the galaxy to bring fucking balance to the force, right? So he's just like going on this fucking shit like, it's a lot of pressure, man. And like, they don't trust me, and they don't have faith in me, and they don't care about me. And like, I get it. Like, I understand it. I don't need fucking Dave Filoni's Clone Wars to understand this shit. I don't need Ahsoka to be created to understand his downfall. I don't. Fuck it. It's dumb. So then, Attack of the Clones, it's going on, it's going on. He's gonna look after the senator. He's gonna look after Padme, right? He goes and he does. He has to be like a protector of Padme. So he goes to Naboo with Padme. Obi-Wan goes to investigate the clone army and all that shit on Kamino. And they're like, Anakin, stay with the senator at all costs. Do not let Padme out of your sight. So then shit happens to Obi-Wan, and then like the Jedi Council. This is before the Clone Wars begins. Dooku's up to his crazy shit on Geonosis.
Getting fucking massacred by.
And yeah, and then damn, two Ki-Adi-Mundis. He's been born 120 years before the prequels twice. The Acolyte canonized his ass twice.
Oh.
Ki-Adi-Mundi, there's like double of them. But they're like, so like all this shit's happening, right? Count Dooku, the council's in like, the Jedi Council's in turmoil. Jar Jar gives emergency powers to fucking Palpatine, yeah, because Palpatine, and not even that, I didn't even mention that. Palpatine's whispering shit into his ear. He's putting shit into Anakin's ear. He's like fucking manipulating him. Anakin, you know, you're a strong Jedi. You know, because he's saying all this shit like they don't have faith in me, they don't believe me, they don't trust in me, they don't care about me. And then here's Palpatine. 4 people in the chat, by the way. Shout out to you guys. Breaking down Anakin Skywalker's downfall, celebrating 20 years of Revenge of the Sith. Love you guys. Anyways, so now Palpatine's putting all this shit in his ear because he's the only father figure that Anakin has after Qui-Gon died. Since Qui-Gon died, Palpatine's the only guy who Anakin's been able to go to and talk to about shit. So Palpatine's like, the Sith Lord that I am, let me see what I can do with that shit. This is the most powerful being in the universe? Let me see what I can do with that. Let me see what I can manipulate. Let me see what I can do to him psychologically. And he goes, you know, he's putting all this shit in his... They don't trust you, Anakin. They think you're going to become the most powerful Jedi of them all. And all this other shit. It's in the trailers for Attack of the Clones. Fucking... It's God-tier shit. God-tier editing. God-tier... Lucas is a god. We're just leaving it at that. I mean, he's not God, but you know what I mean. Like, he's a fucking genius. But, you know, he got a little stupid when he fucking sold the rights. But what are we gonna do about it, right? So, the only guy he can talk to is Palpatine. About shit, because he feels like even Obi-Wan doesn't. The guy who was supposed to be his father figure, but he can't be because he can't live up to that role. Obi-Wan, you know, he can't even talk to Obi-Wan because him and Obi-Wan, they have like beef. They don't get along that much. I mean, they like each other, but they're brothers. They're not father and son. It's not Qui-Gon. It's, you're my brother. Like, we go through a lot of shit, and he even says it when they're in the elevator. He's like, remember that time I rescued you from that nest of whatever the fuck? And then he's like, oh yes. Like, they joke around with each other. It's a brotherly relationship.
It's like me and you.
It's like, yes, it's like me and you. Like, I'm not going to be your father figure. I never will be. Like, that's just not going to happen. Nobody can ever be your father figure other than dad. And, it would be stupid as it would be hard for me to live up to that. You know, that would be like me trying to be, like, take over for him and, like, guide you and shit. As there's a good chance I could fail at that. And so, yeah, so Obi-Wan goes to Kamino, and then he has to watch over Padme. But then he finds out, he starts having these fucking nightmares, right? Because, no, that's episode 2. That shit starts in episode 2. He's on Naboo with her, and she's like, you know, she's doing like the seductive shit, she's fucking with his feelings. So not only is that going on, he's having the nightmares about his mom and shit, because he's the chosen one. He's seeing visions of the future, and this is what's happening. And he has this power. This is the power he has. You know, Yoda says, it's just visions. It's just fear, Anakin. You're overthinking it. And, like, but in reality, it's like, he's the most powerful of them all. He's the chosen one. So he's going to have these visions. They're going to be there because they're real. And they're just telling him, nah, it's just fucking, they're just nightmares. Just ignore them. They're just, it's just a demo reel, Anakin. Just ignore it. It's a demo disc. And he's like, no, like, you're not getting it. Like, I'm anxious. I have all these feelings. I like, and I'm not allowed to feel them. I love Padme, and I can't feel that. I can't express that. And he, like, they're like sitting by the fire, and that whole, like, the cringy dialogue, and then he's like touching her. I like sand. I hate sand. I said I like sand. Sand's not bad, right? I don't like sand, Padme. You know, he's like, I hate sand, right? Padme, I can't breathe when I'm not around you. I love you, Padme, right? Like all that cringe dialogue and shit that people say it's cringe. 2 Yodas? Yo, what the fuck? Yo, that's nuts. But, you know, he's like, I can't express myself, Padme. I can't breathe without you, Padme. And then he's having all these nightmares on top of this shit. So he's like he's got feelings for somebody that he can't express feelings for. And then he's having all these nightmares about his mom, who he left behind. And she said, make the choice, Anakin. And he made the choice. Wasn't the one he really wanted to make. But because Qui-Gon made the deal and Qui-Gon won the bet, you know, you're coming along, I guess. He just couldn't free his mom. So so he tells Padme, he goes, Padme, I have visions of my mother. She's in danger, Padme. We have to go. So they go to Tatooine. And then he sees Watto, and Watto's like, Little Annie, Little Annie, you're a Jedi now, huh? Hey, I got some deadbeats I need dealing with. And he's like, Watto, go fuck yourself. Where's my mother? Right? You got a pretty girl with you, Annie, huh? You're the fucking badass now, huh? Lightsaber. And then he's like, where's my mother, asshole? I sold her. What? Right? So then he's like, where? And then you meet Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru from the original trilogy, who will go on to become Luke's parental figures, right? So he meets his stepbrother, I guess, whatever. Owen Lars and the Lars family. And then they're like, oh, well, Tusken Raiders came and took her. And then he's pissed, because he's like, wait. You freed my mother. He's like, you freed my mother, but you couldn't protect her? So then he's like, and he's pissed. Right, now he's like going down, now he's feeling all these feelings now. Now it's coming full circle. Stay here, Padme, I'll go deal with this myself. You shouldn't see this. So he hunts down the Tusken Raiders. By the way, the scenery in Attack of the Clones during that scene, I don't give a fuck what the fuck people say. The special effects and the fucking, just the digital effects back then, fucking overpowered. Fucking, they don't even make movies that look like that anymore. Just like the background, like the sunset of Tatooine, like and he's talking to fucking Jawas, and he's like, you know, he's speaking the language on his planet. He's like fucking, he's going all over the place looking for her. Then he finds her. Then he finds the village. Goes in the village. Somehow he finds the exact hut. I don't know. that's weird to me, but what I think he can sense her. Like, that's the whole reason why he was able to find her, is he senses her. Because of how powerful he's becoming.
You didn't talk about the speeder bike.
Yeah, the speeder bike scene's phenomenal. You see him start to dip down into the fucking dark side. You see him start to fall. Okay. And they have the Duel of the Fates, the dun 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 dun, and you're like, holy shit! Yo, he's turning to the dark side. Holy fuck! And then he finds her.
Because he's like dueling with himself.
And then he finds her, and she's still alive, barely. And then it goes back to, like he said in Phantom Menace, he says, I'm gonna come back for you, Mom, someday, and I'm gonna free you. And he does. And then she dies. And then he loses it. Boom! That's all you need. Attack of the Clones, he's in the dark side now. He's like fucking cutting them all in half. He comes out of the hut, he's fucking cutting heads off, he kills them all, the women, the children. He even says it. And he's like losing it. He's having like a mental breakdown when he gets back to the fucking farm. And he's in the garage with Padme. He's like, I killed them all. I slaughtered them like animals. I hate them. Because, dude, they fucking killed his mom. And he's been like having nightmares and like, maybe they're not real. And the Jedi have been telling me they're not real. And the Jedi, they don't really have my back. They could have fucking avoided this. They could have just came here and freed her ass. And I would have been cool. I would have been fine. If they just would have freed her and she would have been safe, I would have been okay knowing that she was safe. But they didn't do that. And now he's pissed at everybody. He's pissed at Obi-Wan. He's pissed. He's fucking holding me back. And he's fucking angry. He's pissed. So when they go, Anakin, stay where you are, Obi-Wan's in trouble. Nah, fuck that. I ain't listening to the council. I'm going to Geonosis. And Padme is like, well, you're going to have to come with me, motherfucker, because I'm going. And he's like, okay, this is my type of girl. And then they go. And then that whole thing. And then, Master, we came to rescue you. Good job, Anakin, right? Like, he's like fucking, he's like being all fucking smart-assy and shit. Right? He's being a wise ass. Good job, Anakin. I came to rescue you, Master. Like, he has, because he has attachment to Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's his brother. Obi-Wan's like a fucking, he even says it in, I think he says it in Attack of the Clones. You're the only father figure I have, Master. I don't know what I would do if something happened to you. So, like, Obi-Wan doesn't think he's a father figure to Anakin, but Anakin sees him as, you know, I give a shit about you. Like, we're bounded through, like, blood, man. But Obi-Wan doesn't see it that way. And, mind you, Ahsoka has yet to even get mentioned. I have yet to even talk about Ahsoka because she don't exist yet. George never wrote her at this point. But anyways, it's like, you know, I don't know what I would do if anything happened to you. And then it goes back to, that's why he went with Padme to rescue Obi-Wan. He said, fuck it, I'm going with you. My mother's dead. And then, like, they have the whole scene where he buries her and he says, I wasn't strong enough to save you, Mom. And he's pissed. And so he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever I want. And he's like, but I promise I will be strong enough. I'll, you know, and it goes back to the, I'll be able to even save people from dying. I think he even says that in Attack of the Clones. Because he's just fucking his emotions are all over the place. And then they go to Geonosis, and then that whole thing, the arena battle. And then when he has the fight with Count Dooku, he's pissed. And he's just acting on anger because he's like, I'm taking him now. You killed 1,000 Jedi today, Dooku. But not only that, I'm pissed of what the fuck happened. I just lost my mother. Fuck you. I'm going at you. And Obi-Wan's like, no, Anakin, don't go at him. And then he just goes at him and he fucking fries his ass. And then he acts on stupidity, but you see that he is starting to, you see that his power is starting to grow when he's able to do 2 lightsaber combat. And he's going toe-to-toe with fucking Count Dooku, who is probably one of the best swordsmen in the entire Jedi fucking Council history. Like, he's probably one of the best lightsaber battleists of all time.
He's on par with Qui-Gon.
Like, he's on, well, not Qui-Gon, I don't know if he's good at lightsaber combat, but, like, Dooku's the best saberist for a reason. and like Anakin's going toe to toe with his ass with 2 lightsabers, and he gets his hand cut off, or his arm, whatever the fuck. And then that whole thing happens. But then at the end of that, so that happens, right? And he's pissed at Dooku or whatever, like he lost to Dooku, but that has no reason. That, I don't think that really deals with the dark side downfall thing. But he did take his arm, so I mean, that would kind of piss me off too. I mean, I'd be a little pissed about that. You take my arm, I mean, I'm gonna come back stronger after that. But, so then he marries Padme, and the Clone War begins. In secrecy, by the way. Like Mike just said, secretly, he marries her in secrecy, because the council finds out about it. You're banned. Like, you're banned from chat. You're, you know what I mean? You're, you're done. You marry Padme, you're fucked. Like, you're getting ostracized, you're just toast. They're both gonna get sent to death, you know what I mean? She even says, like, they find out about this, we're fucked. Like, both our careers are over. You'll be expelled from the Order. You think they hate your ass now, they'll hate you even more. You won't get to become the figure you're supposed to become. And that pisses him off even more. The fact that he can't be with somebody that he loves because the Jedi Council forbids it, but yet they're allowed to do all the shit they do. And they're allowed to... And mind you, also at the same time, he also has Palpatine saying shit in his ear. And, then he marries her, and that's the end of the movie. I think, right? That's the end of Attack of the Clones. Now, we get to Revenge of the Sith. 20 years, right? 20 years have gone by, this movie came out, right? This is the final moment. This is the fall of Anakin Skywalker, the rise of Darth Vader. Now, I'm gonna mention a little comic, but you don't have to include this. There's a moment in the Republic comics where he has a conversation with Eshred Het, who is a Tusken Raider Jedi, and he's the apprentice of Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Whatever the fuck that means.
He's the apprentice of Ki-Adi-Mundi. He's a Padawan. So it's Anakin, and this takes place during the Clone Wars. This is the Clone Wars multimedia project, the old expanded universe comics, the novels. This is all that stuff they released. The Genndy Tartakovsky series, the whole 9 yards. Trying to explain this, please. So, this is the Genndy Tartakovsky, that whole multimedia project. That comic takes place in this whole multimedia project. Now, you can consider this a part of the overarching saga, or you don't have to. Either way, we're still going based on the original 6. So, I don't need the character of Ahsoka to be created. I don't need Dave Filoni's Clone Wars. I don't need any of that to explain the downfall of Anakin Skywalker and the rise of Darth Vader. And I'm not going to bring up that fucking character, because I don't care. Look, I watched the show as a kid. I grew up with it. Like I said, there are cool arcs, and there are cool episodes where they just break Star Wars. They change Star Wars completely. You have the Mortis Gods. That's a great fucking arc. But at the end of the day, I do not need that whole... I don't need that whole series to understand his downfall. I don't need for him to become... I don't need him to meet the Mortis Gods to understand he's the chosen one. I just don't. And I don't need Ahsoka leaving the Order. I don't need that either. So let's throw that character in the trash, right? Let's take Dave Filoni's little pet character, his little fetish character. Let's throw her in the trash. If you're a fan of that character, shout out. Good for you. God bless you. It's cool. You're allowed to have that opinion. You're allowed to enjoy that character. You're allowed to love that character. That's fine. Great character. But I don't need her. And I'm not using her for this explanation and for this... I don't need it for this specific explanation video and shit. I don't need it to explain his whole character as a whole. He doesn't really need her to become Darth Vader. Because she wasn't in the other 3 movies. She wasn't in the prequels. I'm just going based on what George originally wrote and what George clarified as the original 6 once Revenge of the Sith came out. Like, once the story was complete, that's what I'm going on. But there's a line in one of the comics from the Expanded Universe, one of the Republic comics, takes place during the Clone Wars. And I could go into, like, a whole bunch of the comics. I could go into the Battle of Jabim. I could go into a whole lot of shit. There's a comic where he has a conversation with Eshred Het. And Anakin hates his ass because he's a Tusken Raider Jedi. But then he takes the mask off, and Anakin realizes he's not really a Tusken Raider. He's just a guy in a mask. And this is Ki-Adi-Mundi's apprentice. This is Ki-Adi-Mundi's Padawan. And he goes, I'm just a guy, Skywalker, like, there's no reason to take it personally. I didn't kill your mother. It's not my fault. I'm not a Tusken Raider anymore. I'm a Jedi first. Not all Tusken Raiders are bad. This was, basically, this was humanizing Tusken Raiders before the whole Book of Boba Fett thing did it. Like, this was way before Disney Star Wars tried to do it. And they were humanizing the Tusken Raiders via Eshred Het. And he goes, I don't know why you have this hatred for me. I don't know why you have this anger towards me. I didn't kill your mom. And just because certain Tusken Raiders killed her doesn't mean it was my fault. So, by the end of the comic, he makes peace with Eshred Het. But Eshred Het asks him, because he tells him everything. He says, I slaughtered a whole fucking village of your people. I killed all of your people. Like, I killed a whole bunch of them. And he's like, I don't know about that, because I was on the... He was like, I don't know about that, because I wasn't in the Tusken Raider village at that time. I was a part of the Jedi Council by that point. So I didn't even know that you did that shit. I'm not aware of that. And as far as the Council knows, the only person who knows that is Palpatine. Because he told Palpatine, and Palpatine even says that in Revenge of the Sith. He goes, remember when you told me about what happened with your mother and the Sand People, Anakin? You gotta be careful with Sand People. I don't want to throw that term around. People say it's fucking racist, but... he's like, he says, yeah, I fucking slaughtered a whole village of your people. And then he goes, well, I'm not a Tusken Raider first, I'm a Jedi first. I had to put Tusken Raider stuff behind me. I had to leave that part of me behind if I wanted to become a Jedi. So I don't know why you have this hatred and animosity towards me. I didn't kill your mom. I wasn't a part of the village that killed your mom. But he does say he tells him everything. And Eshred goes, I forgive you. Even though it wasn't my village, even though it was my people, even though I was a Tusken Raider at one point, I forgive you. Even if you did do those things, you can still be redeemed for what you did. And he goes, but at the end of the day, Skywalker, can you live with what you did, and would you do it again? That's what you have to ask yourself. Or he says something like, would you do it again, and did you enjoy doing it? That's the problem. Like, that was the real thing, where he's like, well, that was the problem. Did you enjoy doing it was the problem. And would you do it again, had it all happened that way all over again? And he's literally just one speech bubble at the end of the comic. He just says, yes. And that's after Eshred Het walks away. Like, he doesn't say it to him. Eshred Het walks away and he goes, yeah, I would. Because there's just... you gotta go and fucking read it. I mean, just go and read the fucking Republic comics. Go and read the old Expanded Universe Clone Wars stuff. It's fucking phenomenal. But you don't really need to read that to understand his downfall, but it just enhances it. It's like that little tidbit of information that adds to it. That it was before Dave Filoni's Clone Wars ever even fucking existed. And when people say, oh, Ahsoka was the reason why he turned, fuck no. Because there were multiple reasons, and there were comics and books that did it way better. And And then even in, I think his Labyrinth of Evil or the Revenge of the Sith book, one of the two, Obi-Wan even confirms and confesses and says that Anakin holds him in high regard. Like, Anakin will fucking jump in front of a bus for him, he'll take a blaster for him, he'll take a lightsaber stab to the heart for you. And he's explaining to the Jedi Council that, like, I don't have these feelings for Anakin. Anakin has feelings for everybody. He loves everybody he's close to. He holds everybody he cares about in high regard. And he does nothing but protect them and care about them. And, you know, he'll jump in front of a fucking, you know, missile for Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan even says this to, like, Mace Windu and Yoda. He's like, this kid has, like, attachment. And he's got, like, problems that Jedis don't have. He's got things that he's got traits that Jedis don't normally have. Hey, we got a trophy. Pull up. He has traits that Jedis don't have, and it's not normal. He will jump in front of a fucking lightsaber for me. He'll take a fucking lightsaber to the head for me, but I won't do the same thing. I don't feel that same way for him. He's not. Yeah, he's like, we're bounded through councilship and the Jedi Council, but like, I don't. He cares about me more than I care about him. And, like, that's explained, I think, in either the Revenge of the Sith novelization or Labyrinth of Evil, one of the two. But, yeah, go back and read those books, too. Those are fucking phenomenal. Again, you don't need any of this stuff to explain the downfall of Anakin Skywalker. This is just little tidbits of stuff that I take from the old expanded universe that just make it so much sweeter and make it so much more better. But, again, you don't need that stuff. The prequels are already masterpieces, and they already explain his downfall in a nutshell. And Revenge of the Sith, once you get to Revenge of the Sith, now he's just full on, you know, he's doing all kinds of shit. Like him and Obi-Wan, he's rebellious. Anakin, what are you doing? You're gonna kill us both. And he's like, this is where the fun begins, Master. And, you know, he's fucking, I'm gonna save you, Master, but you gotta kill us, Anakin. You know, I'll get the buzz droids off you, Master, even if I fucking end up destroying your ship and myself in the process. Like, he's on a suicide run. Let's do this shit, Master. Let's go kill Grievous. Let's fucking, you know, you think he's happy, but, like, another thing they explain in the Clone Wars is, in the comics, not the show, in the comics, he's fucking happy when he's in battle. Like, he's just having the fucking time of his life, cutting fucking battle droids in half. People are dying left and right. There is behavior in him that is, he's starting to fucking turn. Because the Vader's starting to come out. He's starting to enjoy this shit. He's starting to, like, there's comics, he's just cutting fucking shit in half, and he's just having the time of his life. He's like, I'm having the time of my life with you, Master. You know, the fuck, like, they're about to die in space, and he's like, this is where the fun begins, you know, like, it's a fucking hell of a time. And, like, they get to the ship, they get, you know, they crash onto Grievous's ship, and he's like, you know, pops out of the fucking cockpit, they're just cutting shit down, and they're just back and forth banter like it's just fun. It's just another day at work. And, you know, they're joking around and shit. And then they get to Dooku. We take them together, and he's like, I was just about to say that myself. I'm having fun, Master. We're gonna kill him this time. We're gonna get Dooku this time, and we're gonna kill him. Right? Like, he's hell-bent. And fucking Obi-Wan's the one who just sits out the whole match.
Didn't he get knocked out?
Yeah, he gets knocked out. Like, Dooku just knocks his ass out with the Force. And he's like, I've been looking forward to this. And he's like, well, joke's on you, Count. My fucking powers have doubled since the last time we met, which was Attack of the Clones. But anybody who saw the Clone Wars Dave Filoni series, him and Dooku meet, like, every episode. So it's like, Filoni obviously didn't fucking pay attention at all for certain shit. Not to mention, he brought back one of the characters who died in Attack of the Clones. So, yeah, Filoni, I don't know, he's kind of retarded, but look, he makes some good... He makes some good episodes and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And, like, the Clone Wars series has some good what-if stories, but overall it fucks with the whole original prequel trilogy. It fucks with the original vision George had. Because George said Ahsoka needs to die at the end of the Clone Wars. He didn't kill her off. She's fighting Maul during Revenge of the Sith in the Clone Wars Season 7 finale. That's why I have a problem with that series. That's why it's no longer canon for me. It's a fucking what-if series. That's all it is. It's what if Anakin had an apprentice, the show. Basically, that's what it is. because it's not canon. It fucking sucks. And if Maul was alive during Revenge of the Sith, you don't think Obi-Wan wouldn't have fucking mentioned that? Not once. The guy he cut in half who killed his fucking master. So, look, it's Dave Filoni's fan fiction. I don't need it to explain Anakin's downfall. I don't need Ahsoka to exist to explain why Anakin becomes who he becomes. So he's fighting Dooku. Doku, whatever you want to call it. George calls him Doku. Doku. So, they're fighting. He's like, good. Your power... He's like, my powers have doubled since the last time. Good. Twice the prior, double the fall. And he's like, yeah, you think this is funny? I ain't playing. I'm fucking gonna kill you at the end of this. And Palpatine's sitting right there. Meanwhile, Palpatine fucking... He planned all this shit. He made all that shit happen. Him sitting in the chair, that was him. He did that.
That was a play.
He's been orchestrating the whole fucking thing since day one. Since Maul killed Qui-Gon on Naboo, he's just been sitting there chilling with popcorn.
Good.
Good, Anakin, good. Kill him. Kill him now. Do it! So... But I shouldn't. It's not the Jedi way, but, like, who gives a fuck? You're losing your way, bro. Remember what happened? And then he says to him, remember what happened with your mother and the Sand people? He just cuts his head off. Boom, done. I shouldn't have done that. Whatever, Anakin. He cut your arm off. You got revenge. That sort of thing. Because Palpatine just loves fucking toying with him. He just loves feeding the fire. Fueling that fire. And then you get the whole thing, like, you get, Obi-Wan goes to Utapau to finish the fight with Grievous. The Clone Wars is coming to an end. Yoda goes to Kashyyyk with the Wookiees and the whole thing like that. And he even orchestrated that. Palpatine even orchestrated that. He got all the Jedi, as many as he could, off of Coruscant so he could manipulate Anakin on his own. Because Anakin's kind of like on vacation mode after they rescue the Chancellor. And they're like, we're going to send Obi-Wan to Utapau. We're going to send Ki-Adi-Mundi to Megiddo. We're going to send Yoda to Kashyyyk. We're going to send Aayla Secura to Felucia. We're going to send all the Jedi who could probably fuck Palpatine up off planet. And that's all Palpatine's doing. Like, Palpatine's like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and I'm going to chill with Anakin. I'm going to have one-on-one time with Anakin all by myself.
In his room.
In his little office so he can continue to talk to him. I think the only person they don't send off planet is Mace Windu. Which, big mistake, because Mace Windu almost changes the whole Star Wars fucking timeline. And... it just took one little fucking minute detail, one little chop of a hand off, one little decision that Anakin makes at the end of the movie where you're like, fuck, man, had you not make that decision, things would have been a lot brighter.
Yeah, why can't I play as a Wookiee?
So, all this shit's happening, right? Now he's starting to have nightmares about Padme, like he lost his mom, and that shit became a reality. Now he's having nightmares about his wife dying in childbirth, and because now he knows I'm going to be a father. That's wonderful. And then he starts having nightmares about losing the wife and the kids, and now he's like, oh fuck, not again. Like, what do I do? Like, where do I go? Who do I go to? And then he goes to Yoda, and Yoda's just like, nothing it is. These are just visions, Anakin. They will pass. Just like in the first movie, fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Do not believe what you see in your visions. Yoda's just trying to be wise or some shit. And he's like, I don't know, Master. I have visions of people close to me dying. You have to help me. And like Yoda's just, tough shit, I guess? I don't know. He got no one to go to other than Palpatine. And then Palpatine's like... Then he goes to the Opera House. And Palpatine's like, have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? And then he tells him that whole fucking story that's become a meme at this point. And then that whole fucking thing fucks with his head, because now he's like, holy shit, I can save my wife and kids, and it's not through the way of the Jedi. It's through the way of the Sith. And he's brainwashed that. Like, Palpatine's like, oh, I won now, I got him. He's mine now. You lost, bitch. And, like, the Jedi lost. Like, they just lost. Like, once he goes to the Opera House, they lose. That's when they lose. Because that's when Palpatine just tells him the little fucking bedtime story, and he goes, I'm turning to the fucking dark side. I might have to.
But doesn't he try to kill Palpatine before?
No. Then after that, because then he says, is it possible to learn this power? Not from a Jedi. So he plants that seed in his fucking head. And then he's like, I should probably think about that. Because, like, I have been having visions and all this other shit. And then he goes to him one more time. And everybody's off planet. Obi-Wan's off planet. Yoda's off planet. So now he can't sit and talk with Yoda. That was at the beginning of the movie, before Yoda got sent to fucking Vietnam.
On this planet.
Now Yoda's on Kashyyyk with the Wookiees getting fucking blasted, right? So now he's got nobody to talk to because he can't relate with Mace. Because Mace is the only one on... I think Mace and a couple other people are the only one on Coruscant with him. And Mace, he feels like Mace hates his guts. Like, he doesn't think Mace likes him. Well, Mace kind of just doesn't trust him. And Mace is kind of, like, skeptical of him. And he... Like, Mace is like... I don't know, there's a lot of high regard... Like, they hold a lot of high regard for this kid, but, like, this kid, I don't know. He's very, like... He's very easily manipulated, and that whole fucking scene before the Yoda and Obi-Wan leave, they're on the gunship, and Obi-Wan, and that was, like, in the book, too, he even says it, like, he's got attachment, he's not like any other Jedi, so... Like, Mace is like... You know, is this prophecy real? What's the fucking deal here? Like, is this kid really gonna bring balance to the Force? Like, he just doesn't... Mace doesn't trust him. He's, like, skeptical. Because he's like, I don't know what the fuck to believe. I don't know what the fuck to believe. And he even says it like, I feel a plot to destroy the Jedi and all that shit. And that's before he finds out that Chancellor is even a Sith Lord. And then once, like, Anakin goes to the office and he reveals to himself that he is Palpatine, he is the Sith Lord, and he says, you know, become my apprentice and I will teach you the ways of the dark side. I will teach you to keep others from dying. You will learn how to save others from death. Use my knowledge, Anakin, I beg of you. I can feel your hatred and anger flowing through you. Use it, and together we can unlock the Sith truths to bringing others from death. And he's like, I should kill you right here and right now because you're the Sith Lord. He's like, you're the Sith Lord we've been hunting. And, like, all this shit's going through his head. And then he's like, no, you already made me kill Dooku earlier. I'm not gonna fucking do this. I'm not gonna play this game. You're not gonna make me go down your fucking hole. Because Palpatine's like, go ahead, strike me down, kill me. Because you'll just become a Sith Lord at that point, too. Because he's good with that. Like, Palpatine's pretty much like, if you kill me now, I'm good, because you'll still become a Sith. And I win either way. So Anakin's like... So when people are like, why didn't he just fucking kill his ass? Because he would have just lost himself to the dark side. He would have just turned. And why did Mace go and fight Palpatine? Because Mace is the one Jedi in the entire Order who rides the dark side. That's why he has the whole purple lightsaber. I'll fuck with your head. This shit fucks with your head, because Mace is the one Jedi who he totes the line. Like, he can tote the line of the dark side, but still come back to the light.
Is it purple like a combination?
Where, like, Anakin hasn't really mastered that yet.
Isn't purple like blue and red combined?
Yeah, because Mace has control over his feelings. That's why he's an asshole. That's why people don't get it. Like, Mace has controls over his feelings because that's why he's an asshole. And that's why he's so, like, uptight and shit, is because he's like, I have to tote the line. I have to go to the dark side and come back. Well, you know, Anakin hasn't learned that yet because Anakin still doesn't have control over his own emotions. Anakin's still, like, very, like, he acts on impulse. So then he's like, then he leaves and he's like, I'm not gonna kill you. He's like, I don't think I will. He's like, I'm not playing this game. You already fucked with my head once, and I killed Count Dooku and I did it your way. This time, I'm gonna go tell the council. I'm gonna go tell Mace Windu. So he goes to tell Mace Windu, and Mace is like, well, if this is true, you now earn my trust, Anakin. Stay here. I don't need anything happening to you. Because because Mace knows you're easily persuasive, you're easy to manipulate, you're very easily brainwashed. Stay here. I don't want anything to happen to you, because if you are the chosen one, and if the prophecy is what it is, and you have found the Sith Lord and all this other shit, I'm gonna go kill his ass and come back, and we'll set shit straight. You know, we'll be homies after that, right? So he does. And then Anakin has to sit and think and blah, 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 blah. So he's sitting in the Jedi Council chambers. Oh, not to mention they don't make him a Jedi Master, but I don't really think that has anything to do with it. Like, I really don't think that has anything to do with his downfall. He just thinks they don't trust him and this and that, and that's why they won't make him a Master. I guess you could use that. Like, they won't make him a Master because they don't trust him. But once he's...
Well, yeah, because once he becomes a master, he has access to the...
Well, yeah, once you become a master, you have access to everything. So, but they're like, we're not gonna make you a master until you can prove it. So I think the whole point was once he found out that, you know, Palpatine was the Sith Lord, and he told Mace that, Mace even says, you've earned my trust. Meaning Mace said, you can become a master now. Like, you can now be a part of you may now be a part of the council because you've earned my trust, and you've revealed this to me, and you've found this shit out. Now you are worthy to become a master, whereas earlier, we're not just going to make you a master just to make you a master. You haven't proved yourself yet. So that whole where he's like, this is unfair, this is an outrage, this is just, you know, I think that was the council going, dude, you're not really ready right now, right? Yet? As of right now, because you haven't done anything to prove it.
And also the Clone Wars are still going on, so...
Yeah, plus the war hasn't ended. So, you know, he's like... But once he tells Mace, Mace is like, okay, well, maybe this kid could be on the council. And if he listens to me, I may grant him that permission. You gotta understand. You're basically... You do what they tell you, not... You know, you don't just get to become master. All the other masters have to grant you that permission. You have to be... That's their whole behavior or whatever. I mean, we could sit here and debate whether it's a cult-like behavior and it's a dogmatic view or whatever, but, like, that, at the end of the day, that's what it is. You look at that with any, like, monk-style... religion or anything like that, like Buddhist monks or anything like that. Like, in order to be a part of the High Monk Council, you gotta go through some shit. Like, you gotta figure some shit out. You know, you gotta go through, like, spiritual shit and everything like that. Even every type of religion. In order for you to be, like, you know, in order for you to be one with something, you gotta go through some shit. You gotta unlock some shit. You gotta... it's hard to explain. But with any type of... You have to earn trust. And you gotta earn, you know, you gotta earn the right to get that title. You don't just, like with karate, for example. Like, you don't just become a black belt at karate. Like, it takes years of training, and you have to learn from multiple senseis, and you have to do multiple tournaments, and you have to do all this shit. that like I don't want to hear myself talk. I'm good. Yeah, no, bro. Thank you for that. Yeah, I enjoy doing it. Like, that's the thing, is like I love talking about Star Wars when it's the Star Wars I care about. Like, when it's the shit that, like, see, when I used to talk about the Disney stuff, I didn't like it, and it was very fucking draining, and it was very tiring, and just like it was exhausting. But like talking about this shit, I could go for hours. Like, I could keep going. But so where was I at? But yeah, thank you for that, by the way. Thanks, appreciate it. Thank you, Jack. But so fuck, I don't know. I don't remember where I was at. Lost my train of thought. You remember where I was at?
Mace Windu and trust and all that shit.
No, but I was on some shit about religion and oh yeah, the karate shit. The black belt. You don't just become a black belt and then you're a fucking sensei. You don't just become you can't just teach a class after becoming an orange belt. You know what I mean? You can't go, I'm gonna teach my own karate class now. You haven't trained, you haven't gone to tournaments, you haven't earned the trust of your other senseis. All that shit factors into it. So there's that whole thing too. So I don't know. I don't really care about the whole, they didn't grant me the rank of master thing. I think that's like a whole, you have to continue to get there. But I think once he said what he said to Mace, Mace was like, all right, maybe I can make this kid a master if he listens to me. And, he does prove us wrong, which he does. It's just he fucks that up. Like, he just, one small moment where he's sitting there in the council chambers and, like, Mace is going at it and the fucking, Kit Fisto dies one shot. You know what I mean? All these guys are dying. Mace is like about to kill his ass, right? And he's like having this whole existential crisis in the Jedi chambers. He's like, fuck. It's all going through his head. Like, I gave up my life on Tatooine. I won the pod race. I left my mom behind. I could have saved her. They could have saved her. They lied to me. There's been numerous times where they haven't had faith in me. They didn't believe in me. And right now, they probably don't believe in me. They probably still don't believe in me. I don't know if, just because Mace says he believes in me and trusts me doesn't mean he does. But, all the shit with Obi-Wan and, like, all this shit just starts piling up. And I have yet to even, there's no Ahsoka in this picture, by the way. No Ahsoka whatsoever. I don't care about that character at all. So if that's a if that's like, if that's a lot of people that determines whether or not the prequels are good, fine. But I don't need that character to determine that. So he's thinking to himself, oh fuck, my wife, my kids, what if they find out? What the hell? Like, what's the future? What's my future going to be if they find out? What's Padme's future going to be? What are they going to do to us? What are they going to do to our kids? What's going to become of our kids? All that. I'm thinking about that. Like, you have to think about that as, like, he's about to become a dad. So you have to think about it from that standpoint, too, of, like, he's fucking uncertain of what the future is. A lot of dads have this thought before they become a dad. Before they have children, they're like, fuck, I don't know if I want to be a dad. Like, I'm scared. Like, and, like, all this shit is going through his head. Like, I lost my mom, and I couldn't save her. And, like, I'm having visions about my wife. And, like, I don't know if I'll be able to save her. And, like, I don't know what the fuck the council's gonna do if they find out about all this stuff. And like, but Palpatine's, he's offering an ulterior motive here. He's offering, a different brand. He's offering other versions of chips. You know what I'm saying? He's not just offering the plain Lay's. He's offering, Ruffles or whatever the fuck, dill pickle chips. He's offering something else.
Doritos.
He's offering Doritos and shit like that. You have to, he's coming at him with like, well, you could do this shit and it could play out even better. You know what I'm saying? And then he's like, oh, fuck. What do I do? Like, and now he's like torn. And he's like, I don't know what to do. I'm scared. He's like, I'm scared, I'm lost, I'm going through all these emotions. He's like crying, and then, and then they cut to his wife, and it's like in sync, and it's like she doesn't know his future, she's scared for him.
There's no music playing.
There's no fucking, well, there is, but the fucking soundtrack for that whole scene where he's sitting in the chamber, and it's just like the, like like that whatever the fuck that music is. That shit is just, that's just pure cinema. That's just a masterpiece. That's like probably the most beautiful fucking tragic thing in all of cinema in the last who knows how many years, where he's just like sitting there and it's just this ambient like, and then he's just like, fuck it, I'm making a choice. And he gets in the shuttle and you're like, oh fuck man, you fucked up, because yeah, because had you not made that choice, probably would have played out a lot differently. You probably would still have your wife. Probably, you know, Luke and Leia would probably be like overpowered if they were trained by Yoda, Mace Windu, the whole council.
But also,
Him, not just that, but him, he's the chosen one. He has all this fucking power. He would become even more powerful had he not turned and he was in his full form. Like, had he not been in the suit, people don't realize how fucking powerful he would have become. Like, his full potential without the suit would have been, he would have been a god. So Luke and Leia would have just been untouchable. You wouldn't even be able to touch them. They just fucking blink and you're dead. So, like, people don't get that whole concept. Like, if it would have played out differently, and there's all these, you know, you got Star Wars theory, you got all these YouTubers, they go deep dive of, like, what ifs. And it's crazy because, like, that's how it could have played out.
like Obi-Wan shows up and they like tag team.
Yeah, like Obi-Wan shows up, they tag team fucking Palpatine. Yo, it would have been over. Would have been over. But not even that. Like, he didn't even need to do shit. All Mace would have had to do is kill his ass. And it would have been over. Just one minute little detail, one little decision that changes the whole fucking course of the entire saga, of the entire timeline. Just like the one little fucking thing messes the whole thing up. Because if that doesn't happen, you don't have the originals, obviously. So you know how it's gonna play out. But like, you're thinking to yourself, damn, had that not happened, the originals would cease to exist. One little fucking thing. Like, where like Mace is like, I'm gonna cut him down, motherfucker. This is a tasty burger, motherfucker. I'm gonna cut your ass down now. And then he's like, nah, fuck it, I'm killing him. So he cuts his hand off, and then, you know, Palpatine wins. And you're like, shit. Damn, that sucks. Like, that blows. Because now he's like, because he even says after that, he's like, what have I done? Like, shit. He's like crying. Like, the whole time, tears are coming down his eyes. He's like, when he's watching Mace, like, frying his ass, tears are coming down his eyes. He's like, I gotta make a choice. I gotta make a fucking choice. I'm scared. I gotta make a choice, and I don't know what the fuck to do. And it's a last minute thing where he's like, no! And then he just, and you're like, fuck. It's crazy. It's fucking mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. And then by the end of it, he's like, just fucking tears rolling down his eyes, and he's like, I don't know what I've done. And he's like, I don't care, just help me save Padme. And like, Palpatine's like eating his shit up, because he's like, I've been planning this for years, since you got off that ship when you were like 10. The first time I met you when you were like 10. I've been planning this whole fucking thing. I mean, it's kind of creepy, but like, you know, he's been behind the whole thing, orchestrating the whole thing, and he won. He got what he wanted at the end, and like, and then the whole thing, it's just downhill after that. Go do this. Go slaughter a bunch of kids. Go kill the rest of the... Yeah, go kill the rest of the Jedi. Everybody who's against us, they're now our enemy, including Obi-Wan. People even speculate and go on this theory of like he was behind the whole fucking Padme dying thing. Like, Palpatine was behind all that. Like, that was another reason why, that was just another nail in the coffin, is he just kept fucking with him. And people say he might have killed Padme to make him go down an even deeper, darker rabbit hole, because before she gives birth to the kids, she's completely fine.
Bro, you like jumping half the movie?
No, but I'm just explaining like the whole Padme shit. But like before she dies, she's completely fine. And then when you get to like once they're born, she says the thing like there's good in him and all this other stuff. Like I have faith that there's still a piece of him in there. Like he still can be redeemed and all this, and like, you know, because you know she believes it. Like she's I think mainly because she has his kids inside of him. She just gave birth to his kids. They're his fucking blood. You know, they share blood. So, you know, she's like, you know, there's still good in him. I believe it. Like, but I don't know how Palpatine killed her. It's not like a long distance. You know, he called Polis Massa and was like, yes, kill the bitch. You know, it wasn't one of those type of deals. It was, I don't know, maybe he, I don't know. Maybe he was so powerful in the Force that he was able to, you know, do that. But that's a whole fucking can of worms I don't even want to get into. I don't even... That's just speculation shit. That's not what I know. All I can know is the novelization, the book. George had a big hand in that. He fucking scanned that shit like you wouldn't believe. Matthew Stover even said it. You know, he was very, very, like, strict on, like... Yeah, he read the whole fucking book of Revenge of the Sith, the novelization. He was a crucial part in creating that. So a lot of the stuff where it goes deeper in the book, to me that's canon. Because it's the official script, expanded. It's like the script. So the Revenge of the Sith novelization, it's kind of like the movie, just every scene goes into detail a lot more. And they're a lot longer. And it breaks down the characters, it breaks down what they're going through, it breaks down what's going on in their head, it breaks down a whole bunch of shit. But not only that, like you have the sequel book to that, which is the Dark Lord book, Rise of Darth Vader, and then you have the prequel to that, Labyrinth of Evil. That whole fucking trilogy, masterpiece. Dark Lord trilogy, masterpiece. You know, it's just fucking Revenge of the Sith 20th years. Go read that. Go listen to the audiobook. I mean, it's fucking amazing. So, and I already said that earlier, but like I just can't stress enough that book is canon. You know, maybe Labyrinth of Evil and Dark Lord Rise of Darth Vader maybe not canon anymore because of, I don't know. To me it's fucking canon, but like you know how Disney is, that it's not canon, it's a fucking book. It's a book. That's not canon. Season 7 of the Clone Wars is what's canon. Ahsoka fighting Maul is what's canon. Captain Rex is canon. Him executing Order 66 is canon. I don't fucking care about any of that shit. The book of Revenge of the Sith, the official novelization by Matthew Stover, that is fucking canon. No matter what. Whether the expanded universe novels expand on it and make it even better, or if those are canon or whatnot, I don't know. To me, they're fucking canon. And that's that. You know, every multimedia thing is canon. Plagueis that's canon to the Phantom Menace. That's literally the prequel to Phantom Menace.
You went sidetracked.
So, why? What was I talking about before?
Talking about Revenge of the Sith.
Well, I'm saying that the book breaks it down. It breaks down the characters and it explains all this shit. But anyways, so we were talking about how he turned and everything like that. So now that he's evil, and the book breaks that down a lot more in detail as well, now he's doing all this heinous shit. And like, you know, he's like, I'm gonna save Padme. But Padme doesn't really like what he's doing, you know. He's killing all the kids, he's slaughtered the whole fucking Jedi Order. Chaos around the galaxy, he betrayed them, all this shit. But like, to him, it's like, they betrayed me. And you know, yeah, this whole thing, Obi-Wan's over here fucking on Utapau, fucking off, well, you know. But like, the reason why I'm not playing is because I'm getting into this shit, but like,
I'll have you.
But like, he's going based on the fact that like, they failed me.
Well, you talk.
Yeah, you go ahead and play. He's going based on the fact that like, they failed my ass. They betrayed me.
all the shit I went through, the shit with my mom, the shit with, you know, not trusting me and always, you know, treating me like shit and this and that, and then the other little asshole's been spitting shit in my ear the whole time. At least he gives a shit, or at least that's what he thinks, right? So, you know, he's like, fuck them, they betrayed my ass. I didn't betray them, they betrayed me. Fuck the whole order, fuck all of them. I'm going my own way. Little does he know he's gonna lose all that.
Then he goes to...
So that he can be Palpatine's little puppet.
Whoops.
And this whole thing completes the saga of when he... Once Padme dies, Palpatine's like, that's it, you're mine now. I own your ass. And it goes back to Return of the Jedi, where he says that line where he's like, you will be mine, like your father before me. Or some shit, like your father before you. You will be mine. I will own your ass. And Luke's like, nah, I ain't doing it, man. Like, because Luke in Return of the Jedi almost loses his shit and turns to the dark side by cutting his father's hand off, and he almost kills his dad. And then he's like, holy shit, I'm becoming my dad. I'm going down the same path. It's like like George said, it's like poetry, it fucking rhymes. You know what I mean? That was his whole fucking thing. It's like poetry, it rhymes. It's the hero's journey, the classic hero's journey. Anakin just fucked it up. You know, Anakin had the hero's journey and fucked it up, and Luke learned from his father's mistake by not becoming his father. So, but it does harken back to that line of like, you know, he owns his ass once he becomes Vader. Once he's trapped in that suit, once the helmet goes on, once he loses that battle on Mustafar, that's it. You're his now. You're a prison. That suit is a prison. And what he does with that prison in the books and stuff like that is he just uses it as fucking fuel for hatred. And that's how Anakin ends up dying, is he loses it. Like, he just loses Anakin. And he just wants to cut every part of Anakin off. Like, once Padme died, that was it.
Bro,
I don't want nothing to do with Obi-Wan.
you forgot how he was feeling during the transformation.
Are you talking about, like, the shit where he's crying on Mustafar? Well, that was the whole thing, is he's doing all this heinous shit to save his wife and his kids and all this shit. And he's doing all this crap. And he's like, why am I doing this? But it's because he's turning. And, it, like, you see it. Like, he's, like, fucking crying. And then, but, like, you see the yellow eyes. Like, he's got Sith eyes. Like, it's too late.
When he kills the...
Like, he's like, there's no going back. That whole scene is no going back.
the general.
I fucked up. But there ain't no going back. So when he's killing, like, all the separatist guys, like Gunray and all them, he's just like, this is it. This is my fate.
But then...
And then when he's on the balcony and he's like crying and shit, he's like, this is what I had to do. This is everything I had to do to get what I wanted. And then at the end of it, he still don't get what he wants. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you did it. Did you get what you wanted? Was it worth it? And it's like, nah, not really. You know, it really wasn't. And,
But, like, why are they, like...
and he's second guessing that. Like, when he's crying, he's fucking like, why did I do this? Why have I gone down this? And it's like, but there's no going back. It's too late. I'm fucked. It's too late. And, yeah, when Padme comes to Mustafar and Obi-Wan's there, it just pisses him off more because Anakin's no longer there. At that point, Vader's there. He may not have the Sith eyes when he's talking to Padme, but you gotta understand, once those yellow eyes show up, that scene where he looks back and he's got the hood on and it's the yellow eyes, that's Darth Vader. So he may not have those eyes when he's talking to Padme, but when he's having that whole speech of like, together you and I can rule the galaxy, I have the power to overthrow the Emperor, like, he's already Vader. That's already, Anakin's gone. Like, he's just dead. And now it's prime Vader, like, I'm gonna do what I want and I'm gonna lose myself in this. And he does. He ends up choking her and he loses control of his anger and he chokes her, and because that's not some shit Anakin would do, and that's Vader shit. So when he's on Mustafar, he's already Vader, and before that whole fight, when he's talking to Padme, he's Vader.
Obi-Wan's not even fighting.
Obi-Wan just hasn't popped up yet to ignite that fucking fire that he feels, that he hates, that hatred towards Obi-Wan and shit. That just sets him off. Because once he chokes Padme out, he doesn't really, like, he's not really, like, remorseful. He doesn't go, oh no, what have I done? Like, he's just, like, pissed. Like, she didn't see things the way I saw things.
You turned her against.
And then once he sees Obi-Wan, that's it. Like, he's just fucking, like, I'm gonna kill you. Like, you're all that's left of what my past was. And now I'm gonna fucking kill you. And, you know, I don't know why they, they're having a whole conversation of, like, he's like, don't make me kill you. Because, like, he's gonna kill him no matter what. Like, because Palpatine already planted that shit in his head, like, he is now an enemy of the Republic, including your friend Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, like, you know, Anakin's already, like, Vader at this point, so I don't know why he would say, like, don't make me kill you, unless he thinks that Obi-Wan may join him. That's, like, the only thing I can think of, is he thinks Obi-Wan's gonna join him, because of their brothership, maybe? That could be a possibility. Again, I'm not an expert talking about this shit. I've just seen the movies millions of times. I grew up with the prequels. I grew up with, you know, I fucking love Revenge of the Sith. My favorite one. You know, these are the movies this is the trilogy I love. So, going back to it, I do a lot of, like, trying to dissect it and trying to understand it more. But I don't fucking know. Only George will ever know the true fucking shit. So I don't know what that whole thing is, but I think that's him saying, like, hey, I'm giving you an option to join me. You don't take it, I'm just gonna kill your ass. And that was his whole thing, is like, okay, you made your choice, Obi-Wan. That's it, I'm done. You know, like, there's no more Anakin. So when they're fighting, that's all Vader. Prime Vader. The fact that Obi-Wan won that fight blows my fucking mind, too. Just the whole high ground shit. Like, that whole thing in a nutshell, that just blows my fucking mind. Like, how one little... I have the high ground. Like, that fucking matters. Yeah, Maul had the high ground, too. A couple years earlier, and you cut his ass in half. So, that whole thing don't make sense to me, but I don't know the whole logic behind the high ground. I don't know. I don't know if Anakin was using up all of his power for that one jump. I have no fucking clue. I don't know why. But you get that little, you get, like, the what-if thing in the Revenge of the Sith game where he fucking overjumps the jump and, like, stabs Obi-Wan and kicks him in the fire. So, I mean, you do get that what-if ending in the game. So that's pretty cool. Where he doesn't get the suit and he just kills the Emperor at the end of the Revenge of the Sith game. He just kills everybody at the end of that game. Like, he just becomes the Emperor, I guess. Like, he just becomes the Emperor of the galaxy. So, yeah, I mean, it's...
Bro, you pressed me?
Nah, Nah, we're still alive.
Bro, you pressed my account.
Still alive, right?
Yeah. It's because you weren't playing.
Yeah, we're still alive. I don't know, I gotta, oh, what the hell's going on? Why does it keep doing this?
It's trying to catch up, I guess.
Did it catch up? Are we good? It's having all these pop-ups and all these noises and shit. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Hold on, I want to do something.
I was gonna fucking do it again. Bro, you're still on.
I know. I'm trying to see something. No, it's because I had... Hold up. It's because I had, It's because I had the controller battery. I have my controller set to like after 10 minutes it just turns the controller off, so that's why I did that, but we should be live still. Right? I think so. Yeah. Yeah, alright, we're live. So it won't do that again, but I just turned that off. I do it to save on battery, but it really doesn't fucking do anything. It just fucks up my streams doing that, so... But, yeah, I don't understand the whole Padme thing. I don't understand that. Who killed her? How that played out? No idea. Why that played out the way it played out? I don't know. Why she just dies after she gives birth? That's a little weird. Because they don't say any reason as to why she's...
No, I mean, I'm talking about, like, how he feels during the Vader trip. Like, when he's on the table. That's what I meant. Like, how he's feeling.
So you think the pain he was going through when he was... You think the pain he felt... Oh, so you're saying, like, when he's going through all that... Once the Vader suit goes on, she dies because the pain he's feeling is killing Anakin, so it's killing Padme? So Mike's theory to that, which, look, this is going into, like... You're going into supernatural territory. He's saying that Padme is connected to Anakin. The minute the fucking Vader suit is complete, when the helmet goes on and, you know, he's trapped in the suit, that's when Anakin is completely dead. And her connection to Anakin in that sense dies, so she dies as well, because he's no longer alive. And Vader's all that's left. That's a really good fucking theory, but that's supernatural and that's a little crazy, and I don't know if that's real or not, but
Bro,
it's a good theory. I mean, it's a pretty good theory, but
supernatural, bro. You got no force.
I don't know. It's weird.
It's not too far.
Yeah, it's just, it's crazy. But 20 years and it's still a fucking masterpiece. It's phenomenal, and it blows my mind that it gets re-released in theaters and it's making more money than, you know, any other Disney Star Wars has made in the last, like, it's making a shitload of money and it just got re-released. And people are going to see that over watching Andor and all this other stupid shit because nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit about Disney Star Wars anymore. You've ruined the brand. So there's like this thing going around where people are like, yo, Star Wars is beating Star Wars. Like, old Star Wars is topping new Star Wars. They're outbeating, like, the new shit. Like, like, people are literally more excited for old stuff than they are for new shit. Because the new shit, it's ass. They don't know how to handle a brand. They just can't fucking do it. They just don't know what to do. And it doesn't matter who's in charge. It doesn't matter if Kathleen Kennedy leaves or whatever the fuck. Or Dave Filoni gets the... What is it? Dave... It doesn't matter. It don't matter. Because Dave, from the get-go, never cared. Never gave a shit. He's always been trying to rewrite shit for his own little stupid fanfics and his dumbass stories and shit. That's it. That's it. Dave never gave a fuck. You know, Dave's he's just a kid playing with toys from a toy box. That's it. I get to play with these toys. You know, what's real fun about these characters is I get to play with my toys. I get to play with Ahsoka. You know, it's fun because, you know, I was watching the Celebration thing because I'll just watch it to see what these people have to say because it's all lies and bullshit anyway. Just like the fans in the background, they're all paid actors. Nobody's... The real true fans of Star Wars, the fans that are fans of Star Wars before Disney bought it, Those people aren't going to him. They're not. And if they are, they're not in the background with the light sticks, you know, hurraying and hoorahing and, you know, cheering for shit that nobody cares about. They don't. These are all paid actors who probably have never seen a fucking Star Wars movie in their life. You know, I'm not saying there's not Star Wars fans in Japan. There are. But there are also fans of shit that they'll go, I'm a fan of that, I'm a fan of that, but they've never seen any of, like, the original stuff, or they've never read the original books, or they never read the original comics, or whatever, you know what I mean? They never played the original games. They just hopped on a franchise or a fan base at a certain point and were like, I like this now. And they attached their whole fucking, their whole personality to it. And they're like, I'm a sequels fan now. Sequels are great. I'm a Rey fan. Hoorah! Rey's great. And that whole thing with Rise of Skywalker, it ruins the whole saga. It ruins Anakin's redemption. It ruins the original 6. You know, the original 6 is complete. Once Revenge of the Sith came out and it was over, that was it. The story was complete. It came full circle. You already got the end of the story. You already know Anakin is the chosen one. He is redeemed. He brings balance to the Force. He throws the Emperor down a fucking reactor shaft and he explodes. And then Anakin dies and he says to his son, you were right about me, my son. Tell your sister you were right. Because he sees Padme in Luke. Like, Luke made... It's crazy, too. When she says that in Revenge of the Sith, she says there's still good in him and all this. She literally passes that on to Luke. That whole belief about good in him. She passes it on to him. And he carries that out through the entire original trilogy. By the time you get to Return of the Jedi, Anakin's looking at Luke and he going, holy shit, this is Padme. Like... Here I was, cutting off everything that was left of Anakin Skywalker and trying to burn it and all this other shit. And the only connection that he has left is his son. Because that's all that's left of Anakin. The reason why he doesn't want to kill him and the reason why he wants him to join him and all this shit. And there's a line where he's like, I don't know if it's an Empire or something. I think it is an Empire. Where he's talking to he's like, he must be turned or he must die. And then Vader's like sitting there and he's like, but he's just a boy. Like, basically like Vader doesn't have beef with him. He's never even met him. You know what I mean? He finds out he has a son that he's never even met. And that, holy shit, Padme actually gave birth to the kid that I knew about. But I thought he died. Because she died. You lied to me. You said, it seems in your anger you killed her. You lied, you piece of shit. You lied to me, you saggy old fuck. Like, and so he's like, in Empire, he's like, he's just a boy. But I'll see if I can turn him or whatever, and we'll see how that goes. And then, you know, he says, I'm your father and all that, and, you know, he's like... And then when he's like, nah, I'm not joining you, he's like, this kid's weird. And then by the time of Return of the Jedi, when Luke just gives himself up, and he gets himself caught, and he goes, yeah, I want to see my dad. I want to speak to my dad. And he just like, they're like, yeah, we found him just fucking walking around, chilling and shit, and he's like, yeah, I know, I've been expecting him. And then they have that whole conversation in Return of the Jedi of like, you know, it just all comes full circle. It all comes full circle. Like, you see Vader, after he has that conversation with Luke, you see him start to like really just like, go like, what the fuck have I done? Like, what was all this worth? Like, I got a kid, he survived, I'm getting to know him and he's really not that bad. And like, all this shit I did and like, You know, he's like thinking about it in his head, like he's just quiet and just like staring off into space, and he's like, fuck, Luke might be right, man, I may have fucked up. And then by the time you get to the Death Star, like, he just like, you know, he helps him out. It's crazy. It's mind-boggling. It's fucking wild. It's all like poetry, it rhymes. So when you have that whole, like, when you have, like, you see the duality of, like, how Luke is starting to become like Anakin, but Luke's like, fuck it. I'm becoming him. I ain't doing that.
What the fuck?
I'm not doing that. Not making the same mistake twice. And then when Anakin, when the Vader mask is taken off, and Luke takes it off, and he's having that conversation with him, he's like, you were right. And he's like, come with me. He's like, I gotta save you and shit. And he's like, nah, you don't get it. You already have. Like, I'm Anakin again, and I get to be at peace, and like, I don't have to be a slave to the Hutts. I don't have to be a slave to Watto. I don't have to fucking, you know, I don't have to miss my mom anymore. I can go see my mom. You know, I don't have to... You know, I don't have to miss your mom. I don't have to miss your mom. I don't have to miss my wife. I don't have to miss Padme. I can go see her. I mean, obviously, we don't know what about all that stuff. We don't know about the Force and death in the Star Wars universe. That's still like a thing that hasn't been explored. And the only thing they ever really allude to is that Force beings can have Force ghosts and shit. But I like to think of it as like... I like to think of it as like death as like... It's just like you're going home and like you... Everybody that you lost... is there, and you get to go see him again. So I feel like when he dies, he said, I feel like that's what he's saying to Luke, is like, I'm good, man, you saved me. I get to be Anakin again. I get to go see my mom again. I get to see my wife again. I get to go, and he's like, tell your sister you were right, man. You know, I see a lot of your mom in you, you know, that type of shit. So like, it's crazy. It's fucking mind-blowing. And like, he's freed. He doesn't have to be a slave to anybody. He doesn't have to be a slave to Watto, the Hutts. He doesn't have to be a slave to the Jedi Council. He doesn't have to be a slave to the Emperor. He doesn't have to be a slave to anybody anymore. He doesn't have to be he doesn't have to be anybody's tool anymore. He can be him, and he can be at peace, and he's saved, and it's good. He's good. He atoned for his sins. He did a lot of heinous shit, right? But in the end, his son was like, look, you may have been a bad person, you may have done some bad shit, but at the end of the day, you're my dad, and you deserve just as much of, you know, peace as anybody else. It's crazy shit. It's fucking awesome. It's phenomenal. That's why I don't know if I could rewatch the whole saga without fucking bursting into tears and like fucking just mentally breaking down. I don't know if I can, because the older I get, like, the weaker I get. Like, not in a sense like, oh, I'm a pussy, you know, like, not like that, but like, I get more emotional about stuff that I hold very dear to me. And that saga, that original story, the original 6, it has a beginning, middle, and an end. And the way it ends, I'm fine with it. I don't need a fucking 7, 8, and 9. I don't need 50 million spin-off shows. I don't need a Disney Plus series. I don't need this. I don't need that. You know, they did an Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and that was dog shit. They treated the characters like total shit. Wasn't about Obi-Wan and Vader's relationship. It was about fucking Reva. So, you know, it's just... That show, you know, it had... There was no reason for you to fuck that up. Like, you could have done that so much more easier, and it could have been so much better if you just would have just focused on Vader and Obi-Wan. Fuck the Inquisitors. That's another thing. I hate the Inquisitors. I hate the Inquisitors. They are the most dumbest shit ever created, because now you got all these Force-sensitive guys running around hunting Jedi and shit. And same thing with Order 66. Like, Order 66 went from being this impactful scene to now, like, every Jedi survived. And it's like, oh, let's send the Inquisitors. Fuck the Inquisitors. The person who hunts them all down is Vader. That's it. The Vader comics, the book, it's all Vader. Vader is trying to kill any last thing from his past that is Anakin. Anything that's Anakin, he's trying to kill it. So for the Inquisitors to do his job pisses me off. That's why I hate the Inquisitors. I hate that Order 66, that all the Jedis managed to survive now. Like, there's just like every Jedi survived. Because now you're just making it like... it's just dumb. Because the whole point of Order 66 and Vader becoming Vader is Vader hunts down the remaining Jedi to kill his fucking past. To burn what's left of Anakin Skywalker. Not let the Grand Inquisitor do it. What the fuck? That's so stupid. Nah, let Reva do it. Bro, Vader wants Obi-Wan for himself. Vader wants... When he sees when a Jedi pops up on the Emperor's radar, Lord Vader, there's a Jedi. That's, okay, I'm gonna go kill whatever's left of my past. Not, oh yeah, let's go send this Inquisitor. Let's go send the 5th sister, 7th brother, 69th fucking father. Let's go send all these stupid ass fucking Inquisitors to do the job. It's so dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. Vader's the one who does that shit. He goes and hunts the remaining Jedi down. He's the only one. Because then you ruin... That's the other thing. You ruin the whole rule of 2 thing. Like, Vader and Emperor, that's the rule of 2. So when you have all these fucking Force-sensitive little...
They are right
There
there.
they are. When you have all these Force-sensitive Inquisitors running around, you know, it's like, it fucking negates the whole thing. And then you got all these Jedi who survived Order 66. It's like, what the fuck? Like, dude. That whole scene was meant to destroy everything. It was meant for the whole galaxy to fall apart. So, like, when they keep saying this person survived, you go, holy shit. Like, more and more Order 66 is becoming less and less impactful because Disney wants to keep fucking revisiting it. Oh yeah, Grogu survived. Yeah, he was locked in a broom closet. And Ahmed Best saved him. You know, I love Ahmed Best, but like, we don't need these Jedi saving these other Jedi. Fuck Grogu, bro. Nobody cares. I used to, that was the thing too, is I used to be like, oh yo, who's Grogu's parents? Is it Yoda? Is it Yaddle? And then I got to a point where I'm like, I don't fucking care. I don't even give a shit about Grogu. I don't even want him to exist. He shouldn't even fucking exist. Because he negates the whole story.
He retcons the whole saga.
He fucks everything up. So yeah, now he's in a broom closet somewhere. And like, Anakin didn't find him and kill him? You're gonna tell me that? You're gonna tell me Anakin didn't find his ass and just like slice him in half? He was murdering children left and fucking right. And he doesn't find Grogu in a broom closet. No, he got away! No, he got away. No, Reva, she got stabbed and became an Inquisitor. Fuck you.
I am what you will become.
That's total bullshit. It's total bullshit. And I love how he stabs her like twice and she's still alive. That's so dumb. It gets old after a while. So Disney Star Wars is just fucking... It's stupid. It's retarded. So fucking dumb. They don't even understand the whole... They don't understand the storyline and the universe that they have. They don't get the timeline. They don't get the... See, it's things like that that pisses me off. You don't even understand the details. You don't want to take the time to go, well, this happened in this movie, so you can't really do this. Well, this little thing happened here, so you can't do this. It's funny, because the true fans understand the shit more than the fucking people who own the rights to it. That's pretty sad. When the people who are making the shit don't even get it, like Dave Filoni, who claims to get it. Well, I learned from George. Well, you know, George would have had a lot to say about what you're doing with Ahsoka and all this shit. George would have said, what are you doing, Dave? Why is Ahsoka still alive? What's the deal here, Dave? Huh? You know, I learned from... What I learned from George, you didn't learn shit, buddy. You sat at a table and listened to a guy talk. He didn't sit you one-on-one and go, hey, you really need to pay attention to this shit. Like, you really need to go in-depth. You need to understand completely the saga. Because if that were the case, a lot of the shit Dave would be creating wouldn't negate the movies. It wouldn't negate the original 6. But a lot of what Dave does, he ain't fucking paying attention. He ain't. It's sad when you got fans that understand shit better than the fucking people who are creating it. That's just, I think I already said that, but it's pretty pathetic. You got fans out there doing service to the franchise more than the actual company. Like Star Wars Theory and all those people, like all these people making these fan films. Everest Productions, shout out to all these guys, man. Making all these fan films and shit. Like the Plagueis fan film, I was watching that and I'm like, it's not the book completely, but holy shit, this is pretty fucking, it's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good adaptation of the book. And like, they're making all these projects that like Disney's never gonna make for you. Disney doesn't care. They don't want to make a Plagueis series. They don't want to, and they don't want to do it faithfully. They don't want to make a young Palpatine show. They don't care. They want to have stupid shit so they can force their political agendas, their ideology agendas. They want to push shit. They want to, let's be us. Let's speak about us. Let's put us in Star Wars. Let's tell our story. Like the whole shit we're going on with Andor Season 2, that scene that everybody's talking about. Like, why is that in Star Wars? What's the deal here? There's a scene in Andor Season 2. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's got the fans going fucking nuts. You don't know what I'm talking about, but everybody's going nuts because they're like, what's going on? Why are you just using this franchise as a platform to fucking speak about your agendas and your fucking political views? And it's getting old. People are tired of it. Make a fucking good story. Expand upon the original 6. You know? People are losing their active collective shit. Meanwhile, Revenge of the Sith is doing better than anything, and it just got re-released. A 20-year-old movie got re-released, and it's fucking blowing everything out of the... It's crazy. Fucking Samuel Jackson and Hayden are showing up to fucking the premiere and shit. It's crazy.
That's short. It's
crazy,
what
man.
movie would you like to see? It's pretty obvious.
We'll see if Mandalorian and Grogu does what Revenge of the Sith did opening weekend. Revenge of the Sith made like 30 million opening weekend. We'll see if Grogu and Mando do that.
Shit about fucking Mandalorian.
We'll see if it does it.
I'm tired of
Look, man, I don't give a shit who's in charge anymore. I don't care if Kathleen Kennedy gets fired or not. What you gotta understand is as long as Disney owns this fucking property, it will continue to be slandered. It will be continued to be ruined. It will continue to be destroyed. Bastardized. What would you say? How would you say it? Bastardized. It will continue to be shit on. The whole thing. They're never going to change. People seem to... And that's why I gave up a long time ago. I stopped caring. Because people seem to think they're going to change. Disney Star Wars will get better. Eventually they'll get the idea. No, they won't. You know when they'll get the idea? When the whole thing fucking goes bankrupt. And they have to sell it. And it goes to somebody else, and somebody else owns it for $1.50. When they realize the brand ain't making money anymore, and they're just fucked, fundamentally fucked, because they invested in this property that was worth like 4-point-something billion or whatever, and now it's worth shit. Then they'll realize, man. But that's everything they touch. It's Marvel. It's... You know, I'm starting to see that with the Alien and the Predator stuff. They're starting to, now they're starting to release all this Alien and Predator shit. And it's like, really? Now you're gonna fucking drain that franchise? You're gonna fucking milk that dry, too? Yeah. You're gonna milk one of my other favorite franchises dry? You gotta milk that... Where the Predator looks like shit? The CGI looks worse than the fucking special effects from 1980? 87? The one in 87 looks better than the one in the fucking new trailer. Are you fucking kidding me, man?
Yeah, the one in 87 was like barely in the movie.
It's bullshit, man. It's getting to become ridiculous. They just take whatever they own, whatever they buy the rights to, and they fucking just destroy it. And shit on it. And it's like, I don't know when people are gonna. You know when people are gonna get it is when they stop. What? And when Disney finally gets the point, is when there's no money to be had in this shit. When people just stop investing in this shit, people stop watching it, people stop going to see it. But the problem is like the whole Revenge of the Sith thing is like they own the rights to that. So they'll use that. They'll go, well, people are going to see Revenge of the Sith, so Star Wars is still great. No, asshole. People are going to see Revenge of the Sith because it's what Star Wars used to be. And it was when Star Wars was good. Not to give your ass money, but also, the thing is, Disney will get money from that. That's the thing.
Also, they want to rewatch this in theaters.
Yeah, people want to go rewatch it in theaters. But, you know, Disney will take credit for that. Watch, I guarantee it. I guarantee it. They'll have some comment to say Kathleen Kennedy, some dumbass, Pablo Hidalgo, some fucking big head at Disney or whatever, some dumbass at Lucasfilm. They'll say, oh, well, you know, Revenge of the Sith, did good, so people still want to see our stuff. No, not your shit. Nobody wants to see your dumb shit, your schlop, your crap, your fucking, you know,
budget ass,
uninventive, you know, what I could go for days. There's so many terms I could use, but like uncreative bullshit. Nobody wants to see your Dave Filoni crap. Nobody wants to see the Jon Favreau shit. Nobody wants to see Ahsoka. Nobody wants to see this crap. You're gonna just butcher it and destroy it, and I just feel bad for the people who, you know, they're actually like, they have to go in that, like Hayden. I feel bad for him because he like, I love him to death, but like if I was him, I wouldn't be going to Star Wars Celebration like that. That's just, I don't know. I love what George did, and I love what, you know, Star Wars used to be, but I don't care about what it is now. What it is now is just a steaming pile of garbage, and no cameo, no guest character or whatever the fuck. No, that's not going to change anything for me. It's just not. Because at the end of the day, they still don't get the bigger picture. How did we lose?
I don't fucking know.
I was literally killing people left and right.
But that's a cool fucking shot where I'm like doing it over there.
I don't know.
They're doing the same shit with the Jurassic franchise. But that's
Let's just milk every franchise dry.
That's a topic for another day.
I don't get it. I don't know.
Let's go to the menu, bro.
I love what it was, and I love what it used to be. And like I said, I will continue to cover old Star Wars content on this channel. So if you're a big Star Wars fan, you like the old stuff, you like the expanded universe, you like, you know, the old games, you like the old movies, I will continue to cover that stuff. I will no longer cover Disney Star Wars. That's not happening. I'm just not going to give them time of day. I'm not going to give you views and all that other shit. I don't care. I'm done. I'm not going to support somebody who, they don't care. They don't give a shit about the franchise. They don't care about the fans. They just want to tell their, you know, stories, and they want to be them, and they want to do that and whatever. They want to make their acolytes and their Obi-Wans and their Ahsokas, and they want to tell their little stupid ass stories about characters that, like, they have no impact, you know. And the ones that do, like Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, they fucking butcher it. So ones that people care about.
You didn't get all in the guy.
And like I said, I love Hayden. I love Ewan. You know, I have nothing against the actors. It's not the actors we're mad at. That's what Disney needs to realize. Like, well, Disney keeps...
some of them.
Well, some of them. But, like, it's not the actors. It has nothing to do with race. We're not mad at the people who are playing these characters. It's the fucking people who own the franchise who are making the decisions for these characters. That's the problem. It's the company is who we're mad at. We're not mad at Hayden. We're not mad at Ewan. We love them to death. It's what Disney has done to them. That's what the problem is.
What have you done?
You know. That's the problem. It's your Dave Filoni's, your Kathleen Kennedy's, your every Tony Gilroy, all these fucking people who they could give two fucks about Star Wars. They don't give a shit. They don't care if they butcher it. They just want to do whatever they want to do. They're just a bunch of Hollywood suits trying to make fucking tell their stories and all this other bullshit. Push agendas and political views and opinions, and nobody fucking cares. And a lot of these actors who've come out and said shit about race and all this other shit, you need to stop crying. You need to stop fucking crying. Nobody hated Mace Windu. I fucking love Mace Windu. I fucking love Lando Calrissian. Nobody hates certain characters based on their race. It's because Disney don't know how to fucking write certain characters. It's because Disney don't know how to do certain characters. It's because the actors are being given shit material. That's the problem. So when you got guys like John Boyega, you guys are racist. Okay, dude, we sat here and defended your ass for years, but now you're gonna say that? Okay, fuck you. That's that. Go fuck yourself. You wanted war, you got Star Wars. You got it, motherfucker. You wanna talk about, oh, race, it's about race. No, it ain't. But we defended your ass, but you wanna make it about that? Okay, fuck you. Same thing with all the people involved with the Acolyte. You want to make it about agenda, you want to make it about race and all this other shit. And, you know, Reva with Obi-Wan Kenobi. You want to make it about that? Go ahead. Go ahead. Call us all time. They call us all types of terms and names, and, you know, Nazis, they're fascists, they're, you know, they're alt-right. They're this, they're that. Yeah, I'm a conservative. Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. Yeah, I'm a lot of things. But I'm not racist, and I'm not a Nazi. And I am German. And I find that highly offensive. Very offensive. That's stereotypical, and that's fucking racist. I'm Italian. I'm German. But you calling me a Nazi and you calling me Mussolini, that's bullshit, man. I don't judge you by your skin color, or I don't judge you by your ethnic background. I just want a fucking good story. You know, I want Yoda to look like fucking Yoda before the prequels in a show set before the fucking prequels. I don't want Puppet Yoda where he looks like he's from fucking 1985 or whatever the fuck in The Acolyte, where he looks older than he should be. Or fucking Ki-Adi-Mundi is in a show 100-something years before he even exists. And then they go and change it on Wikipedia. No, this is what we say. This is canon now. Whatever. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I'm the details guy. You fuck with the details, I'm gonna get pissed. You know, if Vader's hilt on his lightsaber is not the right hilt, I'm gonna be bitching. I don't give a fuck about somebody's race. You know, when they put Plagueis in the Acolyte, I'm like, holy shit. Oh, wait a minute. Is he a trans person? No, oh, okay. Oh, phew, they made him a mun. Thank God. Because that's what he is.
And then he's fucking creeping.
And then he's in the background creeping like a fucking pervert. You know, watching the guy skinny dip. I'm like, holy shit. Here we go. Gotta love it. And I didn't even watch the show. I just watched the scene on YouTube. I'm like, wow, they had the audacity and the fucking balls to put Plagueis in a show that ain't even about the Sith or anything. It's not, you know. Don't even make a Plagueis show, please. Don't. There was a time where, I gotta quote Star Wars Theory on this, but there was a time where, as a Star Wars fan, I would have loved this shit. Star Wars show every year? Oh, cool, make a fucking Plagueis show. Make a fucking, you know, make a Darth Maul series. Whoa, they're making a Darth Maul show now? And Darth Talon's gonna be the apprentice? Holy shit. And now I'm like, don't do it, please. Don't touch it. Please don't touch it. Please leave it alone. Don't fuck it up, please. Please don't ruin it for me. But they're gonna. I don't have a choice. Because I'm not the one with the keys to the car. They are. So I just gotta sit in the passenger seat and I gotta be like, don't crash this fucking thing. Please don't crash this fucking thing. We're gonna get in a wreck. They don't care, man. They don't give a fuck.
Don't crash.
You know? They don't care. I need George driving the RV. I can't. George needs to drive the RV. He needs to. Can we get him back in the driving seat? I know he's like 80 something and shit, and he's like almost checked out on life. But like, please, give it back to him so he can just decanonize this shit.
Or just like put it in the vault and never touch it again.
Yeah, for real. So he can say, it's not canon. None of it's canon. Doesn't matter. The only thing that's canon is my movies. That's it. Fuck it all. Everything else, not canon. Not doing it.
I'd say Jar Jar Binks over
Are you Yoda? That's hilarious. See a little midget running in front of me and shit. Oh, you died. Holy shit. You got killed by Darth Maul. Darth Maul came back. Not for story purposes, but just because he looks cool. Ah! He killed me. Why is he even on this level?
I don't. What even is this level? Is this the fucking nursery level? Where she's giving birth?
Yeah. It's Polis Massa. Massa Pola. Polar Bear Massa. Pola NASA.
Well, I'm burned out, bro. I don't want to play anymore.
You don't even want to play anymore? I burnt you out on Star Wars. Talking about 20 years of Revenge of the Sith. Defeat. We lost. It's alright, whatever.
I'm fucking defeated.
The Republic fell a long time ago. It's gone. What the Republic stood for is no more.
Now we're back on course.
I don't know, man. They just love to make it about politics and identity bullshit, and it's like, that ain't even what it's about. It's about you suck at making stories. You suck. You have the keys to the kingdom, and you can't do shit with it. That's my problem.
Yo, look at Scurry. Look at all marching.
Yeah, we're all... Execute Order 66!
That's why I'm like not even hyped for Rebirth, because it's like, oh, we're going to the original island.
I don't care about Jurassic. Jurassic Park stopped being good after, like, the second one.
No, it's the first.
Actually, after the first one. You want to get technical about it? After the first Jurassic Park, that franchise just went down the shitter. They just didn't know what to do with it. They're just like, sequels, you know, spin-offs. Chris Pratt holding his hands up.
Directing traffic.
Directing traffic. He's a crossing guard. Playing patty cake with fucking velociraptors. We don't know what to do with it. Fuck it. Just give him a fucking roll. Bryce Dallas Howard, she's just a pretty lady. Let's make her run in stilettos from a T-Rex. High heels. She's running from fucking T-Rex in high heels. Because it just looks cool. I don't know, bro. Just ain't... I don't care anymore. And then you got all these people trying to make Star Wars-esque shit, like Zack Snyder trying to make Rebel Moon. It's like, dude, nobody cares. It's been done. Trying to recreate shit that's already been done. Yeah, the only thing I care about at this point is what is Quentin Tarantino's 10th movie gonna be? What's his last movie gonna be? That's all I care about. Forget it, Mike. Stay in a broom closet. No. Nah, staying under a rock, please. Nah, you gotta start watching more movies.
But they're even beating him to the dead horse.
I don't know. Here's what it is. Oh, and maybe Spielberg's UFO movie that's supposedly coming out, but if it's like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, it's already been done, Steven. We've seen it. Unless you're gonna make an even crazier UFO movie, then I don't know what to tell you. My thing is we're blasting left and right, and we're still losing. How's that what's the deal here? How's that possible? Mix that in with the supers! What's that line? What's the line they say? I think I can remember a lot of the lines from this game. Watch those wrist rockets!
You gotta do it in the fucking Django Fett Wars.
Oh yeah, and that was funny too. Like Tamara Morrison, he showed up at Celebration. And everybody's like, "Are they gonna do a reveal for Boba Fett season 2?" Nah, he just came on stage and walked off. You honestly think he wants to play that character anymore? You think he wants to? He's just like reminiscent of like, this was fun, but I'm done. You know, like I'm checked out. Like all the actors don't even give a fuck anymore.
He's like doing some weird shit.
Yeah, he's like acting crazy and shit. He's lost his mind because they treated his character like shit.
Like a bantha.
They threw my character down the drain. Like a bantha. Anyways, we're not here to talk about Book of Boba Fett Season 2. It's not coming out. Fuck it. I don't care. I don't want it to come out. Because you don't know what you're doing. Like, they just don't. They're just ruining characters. They're just creating shows and ruining characters. It's like, it's ridiculous. Oh shit, here comes Maul. Oh, here he comes. I don't know. They just had to pick a Sith Lord. You couldn't pick fucking the Emperor or Anakin? This would make more sense. Anakin killed people on Coruscant. What the fuck? Maul is dead. No, he's not. He's on Mandalore. Maul's on Mandalore fighting Ahsoka. If you believe that. If that's canon.
It's all about what you believe.
Yeah, look, I mean, if you like Clone Wars by Dave Filoni, I'm not gonna knock it. Like, I grew up with that show too. Like, I used to watch it every Friday night. Then I'd watch the reruns on Saturday mornings. Back in middle school. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you and sit here and tell you I didn't watch it. It was Star Wars when I was a kid. It was the only Star Wars on TV, so yeah, I watched it. But a lot of it, like, you go back and watch a lot of it, it's kind of just...
Show was boring as fuck.
It kind of... Like, it kind of it messes with the prequels. That's the thing. And there are cool episodes, and there are cool arcs, and cool shit, like a lot of the underworld stuff. Like the episodes where they show the underworld of Coruscant. I love that crap. That crap I love. That was the stuff that I wanted to see when George was going to make his Star Wars Underworld show. I love that type of shit. The Twi'lek hookers, the fucking spice, the death sticks, the bounty hunters, the smugglers, the, you know, the underworld adult shit. You know, the dancers, the, you know, the droids and all that. I love that shit, but Disney doesn't know how to do that. They can't do that for nothing. You know, I wanted to see a Battlefront. I wanted Battlefront 3 to come out. I wanted Force Unleashed 3. I wanted 1313. That's what that whole game was going to be about. It was going to be a Boba Fett Underworld game. I wanted the Darth Maul game. That was going to be cool. That was going to have, you know, he was going to be cutting people's heads off. And it was going to be metal as shit. But Disney canceled all that and, you know, got rid of LucasArts. So that's what happened. It is what it is. You know, a lot of the stuff that I want in Star Wars, not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. What I wanted out of Star Wars will never happen. So, either if it was something that George was gonna create, or the game studio was going to create, or I would have loved to have seen more books from the expanded universe. Stuff like that. I mean, it's just not going to happen. A lot of it's been thrown in a hole, discontinued, abandoned completely, left for dead. So, it's there. And that was the thing, too, is I went and I tried to find all the Legends novels, all the old expanded universe novels, before they changed the covers, because Disney, they changed all the covers for the expanded universe novels. Like the Plagueis novel doesn't have the same cover it had when it originally came out, So I went and I found all the original novels. That was that story that I tell all the time when I went to Books A Million. And I just went there and I was like, I'm not expecting anything. And I just fucking hit the lottery. That was like the time where I had the luck card somehow. And, you know, it was my local Books A Million. I'm like, my store doesn't have shit. This area doesn't have shit. All the novels, it's not going to have what I want. And this is around the time where they were starting to change the covers. Where, like, they were changing the Darth Bane covers. They were changing the, you know, all the really good novels. Like the Plagueis one and everything like that. They were starting to change the covers. And the newer covers look worse than the older covers. Just because of who's the art designer, who's the one running it, who's the one who owns the fucking franchise now. That's why. So, you know, old Lucas books would have done something more akin to the movies. They would have created art more akin to the movies. Whereas new Disney Star Wars, they just come up with fucking art that they think looks like the books. So, but I don't care for it. But yeah, I went to a Books A Million. And I'm like, I'm not expecting anything. I just want to go and look around and see. This was like the one time where I'm like, I have no intention of buying anything. I don't even want anything. I just want to go and look. And I'm like browsing the Star Wars section. I'm like, holy shit. And then I'm like seeing these books. And I'm like, wow, book 2 of the Darth Bane trilogy. Wow, that's cool. Wonder if they have the other one. Then I find book 3. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And then I find book 1. I'm like, holy shit, that's the whole Darth Bane trilogy. Then I find Darth Plagueis. And I'm like, holy fuck. Then I find, you know, the Thrawn trilogy. I find the Thrawn trilogy, but I find the, like, I think I find, like, the first book first. I'm like, oh, Heir to the Empire. And I'm like, there's no way they have the other ones. And then I just keep fucking pulling these books, and all these other ones are hidden behind these other ones, and I'm like, holy shit. The Han Solo trilogy, the fucking Thrawn trilogy, the, oh my, what the fuck? Like, I was losing my mind. I'm like, they have all the books I want. And it was just like, it was like one of those times where you go, and then I take the fucking, like, I literally took like a stack, almost bigger than me, to the counter. And I'm like, and I just fucking on the counter, and like everybody at the fucking counters are like looking, like all the like checkout people are looking at me, like even the customers are like, what the fuck? Like I had a stack. When I say a stack, I'm talking, trying to think of a good height comparison. Okay, so you know what a body pillow looks like? I'm not saying I have a body pillow and shit. I'm not going to get into weird territory, but you know what a body pillow looks like? I had a stack that fucking big. So, that's just, again, it's an example. I could use other examples like a HEPA filter or whatever. A stack that tall. Like I'm talking a baseball, taller than a baseball bat. I mean, I had a stack, and I just fucking on the front, like the counter, and they're like, holy shit. They're like, are you a Star Wars fan much? And I'm like, nah, not the new shit, but preferably what it used to be. And they're like, you're gonna pay for all this, right? And I'm like, of course I'm gonna pay for all this. What do you think, I'm fucking dumb? Like, or I don't even think I had the money to pay for it. I had the money, but I didn't have cash on me. And I didn't have my card on me. That's what it was. So I was like, yo, Ma, think you could spot me and I'll just pay you the money back? And that's what ended up happening. Because I was like, I didn't expect, because that was the thing. I went in, I didn't expect to find everything, and I was like, yo, they got everything I want. And I was like, I just went to the counter, I'm like, I'll pay you back for this. I'll give you like, I'll fucking give you all the money that it cost. Whatever it comes to, you just send me the fucking bill, and I'll pay you back for it. And that's what I did. So shout out to her. Yeah, she's a god. But yeah, I mean, it was just one of those events where you go and you're like, you just have the luck card somehow. And yeah, that was just fucking crazy. That was before they started redoing all the cut. Mike, careful, there's pits in those oranges, by the way. Yeah, you figured it out. I figured that out for myself. But, yeah, that was around the time where they started to redo the covers, and I was like, I don't want the new covers, they look like shit. I'm like, I want to try to see if I can hunt down the original ones. Now, obviously, they have the banner on them that says Legends, but I don't care. I mean, they are legends. They're legends in their own right. It will always be known as the old expanded universe to me. It's the expanded universe no matter what. But when they say the term legends, I don't think of it as like, oh, this is what it used to be. No, I think that, no, they're legends because it's a legend for a reason. They're actual legends. Like, those books are legends. They're fucking goats. So, but that little banner, that doesn't do anything for me. Like, I don't give a shit. As long as it has the original covers, and I have the original Plagueis cover, where like it's Palpatine kneeling and they show Plagueis' face. That's all I care about. You know, Darth Bane, the original covers, the original Mole covers. That's all I care about. Like, as long as it's not the new covers, I don't fucking care. And if you don't own the books, you can also you can listen to the audiobooks. You got there's a website that I have on here that has I have the audiobooks on here. And you can listen to all of them. It's called StarWarsAudiobook.com. Obviously, they have the new novels, too, that are considered canon or whatever. The new canon shit. But I don't read any of that crap. I don't fucking care about that shit. That's not. I don't give a shit. I just listen to the old stuff. But yeah, StarWarsAudiobook.com. It's pretty good. No, we didn't talk about the Revenge of the Sith merchandise, Mike. Thank you for fucking bringing that up. The merchandising for that movie was just insane. Just wild. Because, well, I think I talked about like the lightsaber spoons for the cereal earlier. You got them in the cereal boxes. I had the Count Dooku pen. I don't know if I still have it, but the cereal boxes would have like these light up lightsaber spoons, where like you push a button, they light up. Which, the fact that is like you're eating cereal with that and sticking that in your mouth is just beyond me. Like, we wonder why kids nowadays have health problems the way they do. That's why.
The Shrek.
You know what I mean? Like the Shrek kid cuisine and all that shit. Like, just the amount of stuff. Let me put my water back. Nah, but yeah, the amount of shit that, just the amount of stuff that, like, they've released for merchandising for that movie was just hilarious. They had the McDonald's toys with the fat heads and shit. They had the,
You have any?
Then I remember the Galactic Heroes. Mind you, this movie came out the year Mike was born, by the way. Came out, I think, a couple months before. It came out in May. He was born in October. So... Yep, you're 20. That is mind-boggling to me. I remember being 6 years old before you were born, seeing that movie. And that is the one memory of that movie that I have very fond memories with. That was the one movie I didn't go to see it with friends. I didn't go to see it with any ungrateful pricks or anything like that. I remember one time I took this one kid that I went to preschool with. I took him to go see Spider-Man 3. This dumbass says, literally in the middle of the, like, literally before the movie, like, my grandfather and my father paid for his fucking ticket, and he has the audacity to tell me, oh yeah, by the way, Nick, I already saw this movie. And I'm like, that I don't talk to that kid anymore. I don't want nothing to do with that kid. That kid can go fuck himself. That kid just spoiled fucking brat, and I was like, there's a reason why I cut that kid off, and I no longer talk to that kid, and I don't care. Like, that's rich entitled little prick. And I was just thinking to myself, like I wasn't even embarrassed. I was just like mad because I was like, my dad and my grandfather paid money so you can sit through a movie you already saw just so you could tag along. You know, that was just one of those movie experiences where I was like, fuck that. But the movie experience I had with Revenge of the Sith wasn't like that. It was 2005, the year before you were born, actually. I think all of us went to go see it. I think grandma, grandpa, fucking mom, dad, me, and
What the fuck is that?
and
Sound like a motorcycle.
and I remember, you know, sitting in the theater and like seeing Anakin get chopped into a fucking kebab, and like, you know, I'm like 6 years old. This shit's traumatizing the shit out of me. You know, he's killing kids. You know, he gets burnt like a fucking brisk. You know, he's like well done like a steak. And he's getting picked at on the table, surgery and shit, and I'm just terrorized to hell. But no, what I specifically remember about that movie, going to see it in the theaters, what I remember about seeing it was, I remember seeing it and the whole theater was like, everybody was dressed up, people were wearing costumes. There were so many fucking seats taken that people were standing up in the fucking theater. And then there were people who saw it in another theater. It was already over or some shit, and they just came in the other theater and they're just chilling and they're like, yo, what's going on? And everybody's like bumping it. And like you had people in like Darth Vader costumes and shit. You had all kinds of shit. Let me pull up chat real quick. Hold up.
That's almost as crazy as the Minecraft movie.
I mean, this was like celebration before celebration. Like, it was fucking bonkers.
I feel like some people will remember that.
How big are my biceps? Pretty big.
You know, somebody said that.
Nah, I'm not like I don't know what you're talking about, but like I'm just talking about Star Wars, man. I don't know, but I don't know. My biceps pretty huge.
About to kill him and go for it. He's flying. He's flying. He's flying.
Nah, but yeah, I remember seeing that in the fucking movie theater, and I was like, geez, this is fucking just a whole nother level. And like, I can't even imagine what it's like going to see it 20 years later. But the thing is people are like, oh, would you go to see it? Would you go to see it for the 20th anniversary? Probably not, because like a lot of other people, I don't want that memory tainted. And I don't want to go see it now, knowing that Disney owns the fucking thing, and they ruined everything.
Also, tickets are fucking expensive, man.
Nah, I've never heard of them. Yeah, I've never heard of them, but yeah. No, I'm not really like, I kind of just stick to my own, I kind of just cover it myself. I don't really, I don't like, I don't go on X, I don't go on Twitter, I don't have any of that shit. I try to stay off that shit. Yeah, it's all toxic, man. I try to avoid that stuff. But yeah, I've never heard of them, but yeah. But I'm not like one of those YouTubers. I don't have connections. I'm not talking to Star Wars Theory and all that. I wish, but I don't have that level of fame. I'm just like a small channel, and I just talk about this shit because it's what I love. But yeah. But yeah, I remember going to see it, and it was just like that memory is embedded in my brain, and I don't think I could go see it now with like Disney owning it and like tainting the whole fucking thing for me. I can't. I don't think I could, because it would probably because that memory would probably overwrite the one that, like when you have like a save data, you overwrite the save data. That's pretty much what that would be. It would be like overwriting my save data, and I don't want to do that. I want that memory card data to be intact.
I don't want to.
You know what I mean? I don't want that shit over it. But yeah, I feel like a lot of the fandoms put up with a lot of shit. That's all I know. As like the fandom, like us fans, we put up with a lot of shit over the years, and we continue to put up with shit. We continue to get called shit. We continue to, and it's like, at the end of the day, it's you get to a point where you're like, I don't know if I even want to give them money. I know it's, you know, it's an old Star Wars movie, and you're supporting a movie that, you know, you grew up with, but like, Disney owns the rights. They're going to get money. That's another thing too. I don't think I'd go see it because they will get kickback from that, and I don't think I could give.